Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final episode of Jurassic Parkcast. Yep, I have started this podcast series since February from the from the original Jurassic Park to this right now is Jurassic World Dominion. Yep, we'll be talking about Dominion and next and I'm surprisingly this is my last Jurassic Parkcast episode before Jurassic World Rebirth comes out. And I know I said this might be my last one, but it's for now. But who knows? Maybe I'll do a podcast episode about Rebirth after I see it in theaters. So, we have some special guests here for tonight. Please welcome back my two buddies who've been in my Jurassic Parkcast episodes like 3 times. Please welcome back Nathan from Moss Island Film Vault and Daniel McManna, who apparently DiManna, who apparently is running a little late. So
he has tornadoes in Ohio right now. Give him some time, sir.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we had some bad, crazy weather today. I almost gonna reschedule this episode, but thank God the crazy storms are over.
No, we don't. That's not what we do around here. All right, yeah, like Freddie Mercury said, the show must go on.
Yeah, I mean, but thank God this guy just flew past us.
He's not in this movie.
What? Have you ever seen King of the Monsters?
No, I'm talking about he's not in Jurassic World Dominion.
I know. It's just, I know. It's just like I'm just saying that because the bad weather and all that is just.
Oh, that's right.
Don't you get it?
He makes storms. I get it now. It's always Kevin's fault.
Yeah, and yeah. So yeah, I can. Yeah, so you've been on my Jurassic Parkcast like 3 times.
This is the third, yes.
Yeah, look.
No, this is the
your
fourth.
Your fourth time.
It was the original.
Also,
Lost
Danny's
World, Jurassic World, and now Dominion. I see you only give me the good ones.
Yeah, and I know you and Danny weren't in the Jurassic Park 3 and Fallen Kingdom.
Like I said, you only gave us the good ones.
Yeah. And so I gotta be honest, this never happened to me in my previous episode, but I think we'd rather skip how we first discovered this film because this film came out in 2022.
2022. You know how I discovered this movie? I went into the theater and saw it.
Yeah, same thing with me. I went there by myself. I saw it, and believe me, Nathan. I mean, when this film came out in theaters, I know I just saw the film like a few weeks before we did this episode, but this was like my first time I ever saw this movie since it first came out in theaters.
Same for me. And it was the first time I had seen the extended cut.
Same here. And we'll talk about the two versions. I mean, I gotta be honest. I mean, I like the extended cut version better. Because it's just it kind of makes more sense and makes perfect for the film. Especially the opening. I just love the opening. It kind of gives you like a little relaxation of hearing dinosaurs roam around and in the background, and it kind of actually reminds me of one of those dinosaur nature discovery channels. Like
yes.
with the.
I actually wrote in my notes that it felt like a nature documentary. And at first, because I hadn't seen it before, I thought we were seeing the dinosaurs running around in present day. And then I realized, oh, wait, there's a mosquito. And it just bit a T-Rex. That's going to end up in amber. And then in Hammond's cane later, isn't it?
I hate to interrupt, but looks like our brother here just made it. Hey, Danny.
He survived.
Thanks for waiting for me. Means a lot. Very nice of you. No, I'm kidding. I survived my tornado. I survived my tornado warning. I did not die. We're good. We can talk about dinosaurs now.
Yeah, good thing it didn't through past your house. It was all of your collections right behind you.
The tornado actually sucked all this stuff up. I had to go run and put it back. So it
you have a Kiryu shirt, t-shirt. I mean the hat. I have one too. It's right on my shelf right there.
Hey, yeah, it's a cool hat. I did this so that it would shroud my face in shadow.
Should I switch hats?
It's your show.
Okay.
I'm an inspiration.
By the way, I hate taking off my hat. It makes me look naked without it.
I disagree respectfully. I think, but okay, here we go.
All right. Maybe I should.
So, Danny, did you get a haircut? Or did you stuff all that inside the hat?
I got a haircut, but I decided that the results were too horrifying to show to the children. So I'm wearing this.
Well, are you planning on styling it before G-Fest? Because you're going to be in front of all of the children. Are you there?
Well, I'm hoping that I'll have a nice
month's worth. You're going to be in front of a lot of the children.
I'll have a leg that's
because you're in every panel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna bring this to G-Fest. I'm just gonna bring my channel hat to G-Fest so everyone can recognize me from.
I need to make myself a new T-shirt with the new MIFV logo. It seriously needs updated.
Yeah, and speaking of updates, I'm probably gonna save this to the end of this video. But we were Danny, while you were absent for a few minutes, and me, Nathan, were just talking about the opening of this film of the extended cut.
The only cut.
The only cut. Oh.
So
no, it's cool.
Well, so that scene is the only cut for this film.
No, he's joking.
I mean, and I got honest. I mean, I know I just told Nathan I just watched the film a few days before this episode. This is my first time watching it since I saw it in theaters.
Nice. This is my first time since that year as well. In a rarity for me, I actually rewatched a movie for one of these podcasts because it had been 3 years since I'd seen it. I picked the extended version as well. This is the third time I've seen the film.
And this film came out in the same year that I actually met you guys for the first time.
That's right. Yeah. 2022.
22. Like that makes it like 23, 24, 25. 3 years actually.
Can you believe that? That makes no sense to my brain.
3 years. We were so young then.
Well, you were. I was still old-ish. Well, I felt old. I'm not old. I just feel old.
Well, I'm getting
old.
Edwin
in the chat.
Hi, Edwin. How many Jurassic World movies are trap movies? Parent Trap.
Let's think about that. We have 2 or 3.
Actually, aren't
4,
all
3?
the?
Well, I mean, it depends on how you define
World
Parent Trap.
Aside from Rebirth, aren't they all kind of Parent Trap movies?
Well, it depends on how you define Parent Trap, but all of 7 of them involve children in peril. So definitely.
Wait, Lost World had children? Yes, Lost World did have children in peril. That is true.
Yep, and this new one does too.
Second.
Yeah, and I know I just told Nathan this, like before we talk about the film Dominion, I want to talk about a little bit about the short film Battle at Big Rock.
Yeah,
and I gotta be honest, guys. I mean, honestly not much to talk about this short film. I did watch it, yeah, on the second time that that I watched the film. I mean, I went on the special features on the Blu-ray disc, well, 4K. I mean, and I did watch it, and then apparently, like, I don't know if this. I know this short film is kind of like a sequel to Fallen Kingdom and a prequel to Dominion.
Yeah, because they actually show a little bit of footage of it in
They do.
the opening news report.
Yeah, that's a little bit of like a stock footage, or it's just a recording thing. Like,
Yeah, it was a news report, so they were using part of the short film as footage for that. And
yeah,
for what I remember, because I didn't rewatch it for this, I don't know we were going to talk about it, but it was actually, I thought it was all right. It was a nice follow up to Fallen Kingdom. As much as I have issues with Fallen Kingdom, I do appreciate how that short film and this one actually take advantage of a lot of the things that Fallen Kingdom put forward, including what I thought were some of the issues that Fallen Kingdom had.
yeah,
Looking at you, cloning retcon.
yeah, and I know that that short film took place like at a middle of a wilderness, a bunch of campers, like
I think it was. What was that? Wasn't it a national park? I want to say it was.
Yeah, it was out in California somewhere. I don't remember what, Yosemite maybe.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
It was a nice way of seeing how the world status quo had changed after Fallen Kingdom, and it continues, which seems to be a bit of a theme with the Jurassic Park movies, the theme of family, because that's what that one was all about. Family sticking together to outwit the dinosaurs.
yeah, it's yeah, and the family is watching a fight between the Allosaurus and those Triceratops looking things. I mean, and yeah, I mean it was. I also like the part when the Allosaurus tipped the RV over. The family is still in there, and with the baby, it was crying, trying to make the baby shut up, like keep it down. And
that actually reminded me a little bit of, has anyone, well, Danny probably has, but although he might surprise me, has everyone here seen A Quiet Place?
No.
It's very similar to the, well, she's it's multi-layered because she's giving birth, which is also a very unquiet event in a person's life. In a movie where the entire premise is if these monsters hear even the slightest sound, they'll follow you, they'll find you, and then you will not be alive after that. So yeah, it's a little quiet placey. It's a little bit like that.
Yeah, and that thing when that short film, like it kind of reminds me a little bit of this. I think it was a fan game or something or like that. I mean, it's called. It can't. I don't know. It's called something that says camp. Like it's like a horror game. It's like took place at a campsite. It's like a abandoned campsite. But it's roamed with dinosaurs, like velociraptors in the.
Is it a Jurassic Park game?
No.
What is this game? What is this game?
I don't
know.
I don't remember, but yeah, I don't remember, but I remember that I saw this on a YouTube video of it, but I just don't remember what it's called. But it kind of reminds me of that a little bit because that's like has some RVs in the game and
Dinosaurs Mission Dino Camp.
I think so, but I don't know.
Because that's one of the things that pops up.
I'm gonna like maybe look it up and see, because I kind of forgot what it's called.
I got no idea.
Don't worry, I'll keep looking it up. You guys keep talking.
Like I just, well, we were talking. I mean, I also like how that little girl who knows so much about dinosaurs, and he flew the Allosaurus away by the by a bow and arrow at the end.
That was cool.
Yeah, I was like, what a brave girl.
I know. As also as a dino nerd, it was kind of cool to see an Allo get a Jurassic Park spotlight. They were briefly in Fallen Kingdom. If you squint and turn your head sideways, you know, they try to auction a juvenile off at one point, but they were in there. But I think allosaurs are fascinating creatures. If anybody out there, and you probably know where I'm going with this, if you know, you know, Walking with Dinosaurs definitely made me an allosaur fan. 1,000 years ago. There you go. If anybody out there knows the Ballad of Big Al, you will know of what I speak. I am very clearly talking gibberish right now to both of you, but I promise you it's a real thing. Go watch it. The Ballad of Big Al. It's very good. It'll just line.
Here, you say Allosaurus to me, and I think Guanji.
Fair. It's kind of an Allosaurus. Enough of an Allosaurus. It's there. It kind of works. It's cool. But no, come on. Big Al. Big Al's where it's at. Walking with Dinosaurs, Kenneth Branagh, come on. Oh yeah, come on. It's just me, isn't it? It's just me.
Walking with Dinosaurs in forever.
It's just me. It's just Anyway, that's a pretty good documentary, and I recommend it. I could reach up for my VHS, but I'm not going to because I don't want to get up. Anyway, yeah. Whoop! Don't stay.
Hey.
Stay. Good girl.
What you have? Oh, you're talking to your T-Rex.
Don't you talk to your T-Rex?
That T-Rex scared the tornado away.
Yeah, she knows what's up. You know what's up. You got this. There we go. She's good. She's got this. You got this. She's got this. It's great. It's great.
You're not taking her out on a Friday night, are you?
That's the worst thing you could have said. It's not the worst thing you could have said, but it is on the list. It is one of the worst things. And you said it in front of her child, too, which is very, very rude.
You can adopt it.
I don't think that's legal in Ohio. Anyway, Battle at Big Rock. Well, yeah. Battle.
Oh yeah, I found it. Like it's from this. You know that scene with the RVs and the dinosaurs around it. That reminds me from a fan game. I found what the game is called. Oakwood.
Never would have guessed that in a million years.
Yeah,
never would have guessed that.
It is a horror game.
There are not a lot of dinosaur horror games or horror. Nope, can't make a pun out of it. I tried. Dinosaur. No, it doesn't. Never mind. I'll workshop it. But there aren't a lot of like spooky dinosaur games out there, and there should be, because dinosaurs are scary. I didn't say
yeah.
Actually, it is not a fan game. It is an indie game.
I dig it.
Oh, I could be mistaken if it was a fan game. I mean, it's just Oakwood is.
It is an indie game. I'm trying to see who developed it. Let me see. It came out in 2018 from a couple of developers. It looks like Breaking Dimensions and Polygon Dust Entertainment.
Yeah, it's because in the game it has like a abandoned campsite. But it's one with dinosaurs, like especially carnivores like the T-Rex, the Velociraptors, the Dilophosauruses, but when like a camera just visited that abandoned place, he hid one of the RVs. I mean, the lights go out, and this is kind of like that scene is almost like a cross. It's kind of like from Battle at Big Rock and from the original Jurassic Park of the T-Rex looking in the car. It's sort of similar like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the screenshots, and there's at least one a screenshot in here that was clearly inspired by Jurassic Park, because it's got the frilled dinosaur coming after you.
Yeah,
except this one's in the dark in this screenshot.
Yeah,
but this it takes place in British Columbia, which is in Canada.
Mm.
Hmm.
And yeah, then I also like the credit scene. It has some like video, some home videos shots of people recorded of all the dinosaurs roaming around with the classic Lost World theme.
Mhm.
Yeah, and also I'm surprised that during the credits, the end of the credits goes up, and you actually hear like a slight guitar playing the Jurassic Park theme, which is kind of cool. Like playing a guitar with the for the Jurassic Park theme is kind of cool to me because when you're camping in the great outdoors in the wilderness, yeah, kind of gives it a nice touch to it.
I do like that. There's something about like a campsite and a little bit of guitar music that kind of feels right. It's kind of cozy. I dig it.
By the way, some Jurassic Park films, especially the original, kind of always makes me want to watch them in a natural wilderness, especially in Lake of the Ozarks. I always go every summer, and yeah, whenever time I'm in the Ozark in a perfect camp resort area, like I've always want to watch Jurassic Park, especially the original.
It's like those people that watch Jaws in the ocean in inner tubes just floating, watching Jaws on a giant screen. Part of me wants to try it. The rest of me is like, you could not pay me enough to actually go into the ocean and float in an inner tube and watch Jaws. That's horrible.
Not unless you had a waterproof iPad.
And
no, it's like a theater screen. They broadcast it on a giant. It's like a drive-in. They put up a giant screen and.
Danny froze.
Yeah, but you still hear me, right?
Oh, there he's back.
That was weird.
Okay.
What happened there? That was instantaneous for me too. It just stopped. That was weird. Okay, I think we're good.
Maybe one of the dinosaurs. Maybe one of the dinosaurs might bite through a power line or something.
Maybe, or maybe Ghidorah really was in that storm.
Oh, you know what? He was making that joke before we went on the air.
It's low hanging fruit. I had to do it. It's. I'm not going to win any awards for that joke, but it's.
Yeah, and who knows? I might do a podcast episode about Jaws since Jaws turns 50 this year. But who knows? Maybe I'll do it before or after G-Fest.
Got it. Ooh.
Yeah, well, and then you're gonna have to do all the sequels.
Yeah, but I'll stick with one for now.
That's fair.
Right. Anyway, so we already talked about Battle at Big Rock, and so let's talk about the film itself. I mean, we all know. I already told Nathan earlier that we were just gonna skip how we first discovered this film because it came out 3 years ago, and
saw it in the theater.
I was gonna say I walked into the theater. We've been over this.
I saw it by myself, and I just walked in and I saw it. I only saw it in theaters one time.
Same.
Yeah, the other two Jurassic World films I saw twice. The first and Fallen Kingdom twice, but Dominion one time in theater.
Mm-hmm. I actually completely missed Fallen Kingdom in theaters, believe it or not.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, I completely missed it. And I felt pretty dumb, but it was just something I couldn't get to the theater to see it for whatever reason back then.
Yeah, and I know Fallen Kingdom is almost my least favorite. It's just okay to me, but I like the first Jurassic World and Dominion better.
Well, that might be because it had the same director.
Yeah, Colin Trevorrow. I hope I'm saying this right. Trevorrow. He does an amazing job with both films. I'm so surprised that he didn't come back for Fallen Kingdom.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think this one might be my favorite of the world movies.
This one?
This one.
Nice.
What, Dominion?
Yeah, watching it again, I'm like, man, I forgot how good this was.
Yeah, it is really good, and
I think it got better the second time I watched it. This time.
Yeah, same here, especially with the extended cut.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah, it felt the most Spielbergian out of the non-Spielberg sequels.
Yeah, and especially the opening and the drive-in, which is my stepdad's favorite scene. He loves drive-ins.
I was gonna say, I was surprised. I was like, oh yeah, there was a drive-in in this movie. How many of those even still exist anymore? Not many.
A couple hundred.
Yeah,
I got one driving distance from me. I need to go there more often than I do. That's actually just there not too long ago. Butch Patrick was there, Eddie Munster. So I got to go see Munster Go Home with Eddie Munster there. Really cool. And they played vintage ads and vintage music. I wish there were more of those that existed. And it was very similar. They did not play the one that's in DiManna. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Like, they didn't play that one at mine. But that's a classic. Everybody who knows their drive-in stuff has heard that probably at least once.
They play those in regular theaters now.
They do, which is lovely. Actually, I'm happy to see that back. I think that's wonderful.
It's in public domain.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, you can just do anything you want with it now. It's great, and I love those advertisements. And it was cool to see that. And then, did anybody catch the movies that were playing at the drive-in?
One was American Graffiti.
Yes, which is George Lucas.
And I wasn't able to catch the other one.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon?
Flash Gordon. Yeah.
What a double feature that would be.
I know. That'd be a heck of a thing. I'd love to go see either of those in drive-in. I feel like American Graffiti is like made for drive-in. It's a movie about car culture. So it's, it would kind of be perfect for a drive-in. I'd love to try to catch that.
Yeah.
I love that moment. Dino comes in, ruins the whole thing.
With Rexy and I know that after the film came out, I mean, I know there's some reviews of it. They said that this film is like going a little down here, like it's going a little splat on, especially on Rotten Potato.
Rotten Potatoes, that's a new one.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, not potato.
I want to start a new movie review aggregate site called Rotten Potatoes.
You will get sued.
I know. I look at the critics. I mean, they said this film is like not as good as Fallen Kingdom. I mean, but I don't think it's bad at all. I mean, it's just.
I would like to know what movie they thought they watched, because Fallen Kingdom annoyed me.
Yeah, I mean, Dominion is not a bad film. It's just like it's one of my favorites now, especially when the original cast is back.
I think having now watched it, I've enjoyed it a little more every time I've seen it. I quite enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it every time I've watched it. It is not a flawless piece of cinema. It is roughly 64 different movies packed into one on a couple of occasions. There is some sloppiness here and there in how they put it together, but I just don't care. I have so much fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I've had fun every time.
To be honest, it's a little bit of a globe-trotting effort, isn't it?
Some of the cast
because they jump around all over the place, a little bit like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, and there was there was a one scene in this film, especially with the Atrociraptors chasing, kind of reminds me a little bit from like an Indiana Jones scene. Like,
oh yeah,
it's.
Like I said, this is the most Spielbergian, I think, out of all the sequels.
Yeah, and I was
why
that Spielberg actually directed.
You know why? Set pieces.
Yeah,
this is set pieces. The movie. There are, I want to say, 287 set pieces in this film in 287 different countries, which is very impressive. Get Yakko Warner on that one pronto.
I was gonna say,
yeah, it's pretty sprawling. I mean, within. Because the extended cut is like an hour. Oh my God, let me try that again. 2 hours and 44
wow.
minutes.
It's 2 hours and 40.
It's very close to 3 hours long. It's only 13 extra minutes of footage based on the theatrical cut. But within the runtime of this movie, we have Maltese raptor chases. We have underground dino trading. We have swimming
underground
velociraptors.
dino fights.
We've got multiple dino fights. We have
You mean the
Freddy
No, I
Raptor?
said, no, I said underground dino fights where they're placing bets.
Yes, and underwater dino fights, and in the air dino fights, and Freddy Kruegersaurus. It's crazy. There's just something like that's like a quarter of it. Every scene of this movie is something else, and it just doesn't.
We had dino rustling,
dino trafficking, dino.
Dinos in a winter environment.
Yes, ice dinosaurs, swamp dinosaurs,
Yeah,
jungle dinosaurs, fire dinosaurs.
I was gonna say that this is like the first Jurassic film we ever see dinosaurs in snow.
So actually, because everything else has been in a tropical environment or on rare occasions an urban environment.
It's a pretty cool thing.
And let's not forget, it turns into beginning of the end in a couple of scenes.
It literally becomes beginning of the end. Like there are actually quite a few lovely classic monster movie references in this. A lot of Harryhausen in this film. Lot of Harryhausen. There's an entire Guanji roping scene in this.
I was going to say that's why I brought up the dino rustling. That was Valley of Guanji. I just rewatched Valley of Guanji for the show, so it's fresh in my mind.
And I want to tell you guys this. I mean, I know we talk about the opening from the extended version. I mean, of the open 65 million years. And then, did you know that that opening was meant to be in Fallen Kingdom for the opening for the dinosaurs' extinction, and compared to their extinction on Isla Nublar, but. And that idea came from the Fallen Kingdom director and himself, but they decided to change that and put that in the next film.
I think it works better here. And I do like that prologue. And I know you guys already talked about it, but I do very much like that prologue. I think it effectively sets the mood for the film really beautifully. It's the goofy part is that it kind of destroys any, because you can get away with dinosaurs not being scientifically accurate in the Jurassic Park films because you can talk about like the genes getting messed with, but when you show them in the past, you have to make it look real, and they did a pretty good job, but they still goofed on a couple of things, which always makes me chuckle. But there are a lot of people out there that take that stuff actually seriously and get mad, and I just don't care enough to get mad about it because it's a freaking movie. But the fact that the Oviraptor was stealing eggs when that was disproven 30 years ago, that always makes me laugh. They literally like Oviraptor egg thief. That's what Oviraptor means.
Yeah, and I love the.
So what are they gonna do? Change the name?
No, they can't change the name, but they're scientifically proven that like they found the first. This is a little paleo nerdery for you. They found the first Oviraptor bones hovering over a nest, and that's why they named it Egg Thief. But they later discovered other Oviraptor fossils, and they were on the nest. So they were actually really good mothers that protected their babies, and they were not egg thieves. And whoever made that first discovery, it was Roy Chapman Andrews, like 100 years ago or something. It was wrong. He was like, she's stealing the eggs, but no, it's just a mom and her babies. But everything from Disney's Dinosaur to this film makes Oviraptors egg thieves, and it always makes me laugh. Always.
And I love that one dinosaur was eating something out of another dinosaur's mouth. Turns out it was the Giganotosaurus, the ancestor of it.
Giganotosaurus,
the big boy,
and who is finding Rexy's ancestor, who apparently has feathers in it. Yeah,
which is also inaccurate.
They're doing, because that's a thing now. Dinosaurs have feathers. That's why they call out when they go to the preserve. It's like, oh, we're not modifying these things. We're making them as accurate as possible. Basically implying that the ones that were made in Jurassic Park are basically mutants.
Which they are. They're mutants. It works.
Yeah. Now, they're not quite the kaiju that we had with the Indoraptor and the Indominus.
There's no hybrid dinosaurs in this.
Which I think might be why I like this one the most, because I'm like, thank you. No ridiculous overpowered kaiju dinosaur.
Yeah, and I love how they did you know they like while they were still filming, they made a few changes. Especially, they changed some of the plots for this film. I mean, I want to talk about this film was going to be usually going to be released on in 2021, but they had to schedule it a year ahead because of this crazy pandemic that COVID-19, like how it started.
Yeah, they had to stop production on the darn thing, and then resume it with guidelines in place to get it done. And they got it out. They got it out relatively unscathed, considering it actually made it pretty good. It was one of the, because remember 2022, which somehow feels like last week, but also a decade ago. I don't know how that works, but it's true. That was the first summer really back in full force for films. I mean, films dried up a lot in theaters in 2020, and then in 2021, a lot of it was day and date streaming and in theaters. And 2022 was really like, okay,
the year of GVK right there.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Dominated at the box office.
That's right.
Yeah.
And this was the first like summer blockbuster that people like season rather, not film, but like summer blockbuster season that people had their eyes on after everything had pretty much opened back up again and everything was fine. You know, the theaters are open. How are people going to respond to this? And gosh darn it, the film made $1 billion. Every Jurassic World movie made at least $1 billion. And if you're the first Jurassic World, you made a lot more than that. It's still a top grosser of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even back then when I first saw it in theaters, I had to wear a mask when I was watching it in theaters. I still had to wear a mask to cover it. I mean, and I know that I've been wearing a mask like for years, ever since pandemic got started, but I kind of stopped wearing a mask since after G-Fest from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of stopped wearing it because it's already over.
Oh, it's been over. It's been over. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, can't believe it's been 5 years since COVID got started.
I don't know how that.
Can we not talk about that? Nobody wants to talk about 2020.
No, it's just that's all I want to talk about. How this film is going to be released in its original release year because of the pandemic,
which would have made sense. It was on a 3-year time skip. 2015 was the first one. 2018 was the second one. 2021 would have been the third one. It makes sense. But I'm glad they actually gave it a little extra time to cook. To be perfectly honest, I don't know how much time or how much difference there would have been if they'd released it in 2021 versus a year later. I mean, excluding the fact that they needed more time to finish it, but I don't know if the plot would have been different. I don't know if they would have shot things differently. I'm not sure what kind of movie we would have gotten. Probably pretty much the same thing. I don't think I don't know, but maybe the extra time gave them more wiggle room to finesse the thing. Considering how complicated this movie is and how much stuff is happening in it, they probably needed all the time that they could get so that it somehow was fit into one film, because this movie has it had the distinction. This is something that's been happening more commonly now as older film, and I don't mean older as in old, but like previous franchises are getting new editions, new sequels, new tack-ons. This was touted as being the last one. We all knew better, but lies. But it had the distinction of having to do two things as a film. Well, three things. One, it has to function on its own. Two, it has to be a trilogy capper for the Jurassic World films. And three, it had to be the end of 6 movies. It had to somehow wrap up 6 movies worth of stuff. And a few years earlier, a little movie involving Skywalkers that rose kind of proved that is not easy to do effectively without it being embarrassing. But like, you could tell they took notes after Rise of Skywalker came out. There are things that happen in this movie that are a direct response to Rise of Skywalker. And I could tell you what that response is, but I'm not going to use those words. But it is very, very clear that they took notes. And they ended up making a movie that somehow packed almost 3 hours into telling its own story, telling a trilogy ending story, and telling a 30-year-old story ending at the same time. And you can tell they were it's busting at the seams, but it somehow worked. At least for me, it did.
Yeah, and speaking of Star Wars, I mean this film, this film, it kind of reminds me a little bit from this one Star Wars film, The Force Awakens. I mean,
Never heard of it.
Which I know you missed.
Nah, I can't fool you. I tried.
I mean,
but
at this point, we're practically his co-host on every episode, so
yeah.
I would hope he
well,
knows how we work.
Which I'll get to it later about why this film makes me think of The Force Awakens, Star Wars film, which we'll get to that later. I mean, I want to talk about the cast and some of the new cast and the original cast. I mean, I know that in the open it shows Claire and Owen living together in Owen's log cabin thing, which I love log cabins, and
it's very cozy.
They actually adopted Maisie, who is 14.
Mm-hmm.
The clone.
They're taking good care of her.
Clone.
Yeah, the
clone
least girl.
They do something with it. I thought that was a poor choice on the part of Fallen Kingdom, but at least they're doing something with it.
Yeah, and then which we'll talk about Maisie a little later, and yeah, she
gives off so much Kenny energy. At least at first.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I can't believe, dude. She's a little abrasive at points. Okay, a little abrasive for my taste.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and I can't believe they're surprised that Owen and Claire live together now. They adopted this clone girl. Is that they and I like how they like Claire actually calls her daughter, especially at one scene when it's fight saying, "Where's my daughter?
Where's my daughter?" I loved that. I loved that. I loved that.
Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
and with her character in this film, and when she's living with Owen and Claire, I mean, kind of makes me think of some other character moments that are kind of like her, but before this film, like kind of like Luke Skywalker and other characters Rapunzel from Tangle, who has been trapped with this evil mother thing. I mean, and some other movies I know, but I don't know. I lost count. I mean, she's sort of like one of those characters that she kind of felt trapped. Wants to go out to the world and wants to live the adventure. But she has to. But Claire has to keep her hidden from some scientists or bad people from Biosyn, the guy who was in charge of Engine after all these years since the first Jurassic Park. They're trying to find her.
Are you talking about Dodgson?
Yes. What? Yeah. Speaking of that, which we'll get to that soon. I mean, I know I talk about the some of the cast from the previous films. I mean, I want to talk about the original cast from the original Jurassic Park trilogy. After 20 years since the third Jurassic Park came out, I really don't like that film.
So yeah, Sam. That was the last time we saw Sam Neill. I haven't watched Jurassic Park 3 in ages, but that was the last time we saw Sam Neill as Grant.
Yeah,
and who else?
Lauren Dern as Allie Sattler.
Wasn't in that one.
Yes, she was.
He was in Jurassic Park 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
haven't
It's a
seen
good
it.
movie. You'd like it.
I haven't seen it.
Jurassic Park 3?
Watch
No,
it.
it's
It's good.
no, it's a terrible one.
I have never seen a terrible Jurassic Park movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Jurassic Park 3 is a terrible
That's because
movie
Danny
with the
DiManna loves
Spinosaurus and
everything.
no, it's just no. Jurassic Park 3 is so bad. I mean, I don't want
Well,
to.
it's a fine movie that you don't like. There's a difference.
Yeah, I
It's not a masterpiece, but it's a fun movie. It's not bad by any stretch, but you just don't enjoy it. There's a difference.
But this is Dominion we're talking about, not 3.
Is it?
I already talked.
I'm looking at the cast.
I already
Malcolm's
I already
not
talked
in
about
it.
3 in my my last episode.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Laura Dern and Sam Neill were in 3,
They were in
but-
3.
but not Malcolm.
No, Malcolm has a cameo in the 5th one, but he was not in that. They mention him in Jurassic Park 3,
Yes.
and Grant gets a shot in at him, but that's about it. But he's not in it. But yeah, it's the first. This is the first one since. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. That's more than 20 years away from the franchise. Enough time for Sam Neill to turn into Santa, apparently, and Laura Dern to look somehow exactly the same.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
almost. I mean, this is.
Time
this
has
is-
been kind to her.
I mean, this is Lauren Dern's and Sam Neill's first time in a Jurassic Park film in 20 years since the 3rd film.
amazing,
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, can't believe 20 years. Like,
Laura Dern
and,
has.
and the only thing that changed for Ian is he lost all of his iconic uhs.
Yes, because whoever wrote the script, yes, didn't put his. Kind of cut that out a little bit. You can tell the parts of the script that were written for him and the parts where he was just being himself really easily in this movie, which is very funny to me because you can tell where like I'm watching it like, okay, that wasn't in the script. That's just Jeff Goldblum being himself. That was in the script because that doesn't quite sound like something he'd say. So it was funny to kind of pick that out. And then like Laura Dern in the like she's been in so many crazy things. She won a friggin' Oscar in the time between the 3rd and 6th film of this franchise. And Sam Neill has pretty much just kind of been working on his pig farm for, several decades. I'm not making that up. The dude is a farmer and then he goes and makes movies sometimes and then goes back to farming.
Hey, he hung out with dinosaurs. Now he's going to hang out with Godzilla. So
That's right. He's going to hang out with Godzilla.
He has been cast for.
oh yeah, there's some rumors that he's going to be in the next month.
I think it's
Rumors?
pretty much confirmed he is in the movie.
No, he signed the contract. It's a
in the
thing.
movie,
He's in it.
dude.
He's a cast member. His name has been revealed. I just don't remember what it is.
So yeah, I want to say that
Watch his name is going to be Grant Allen.
They better not. That's just silly.
Silly.
I like the way how Lauren Dern has come back and Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum. I mean, back as the same character as Sam Neill as Alan Grant. I mean, this is his first film in 20 years since the 3rd Jurassic Park. I mean, I like the way how he first appeared with a little Jurassic Park theme, like no. Yeah, and they have a new look to him with a beard. I mean, kind of gives it more like from the novel version.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of like how he's talking with those teenage girls, and they pull a total,
Yeah,
OG
with their
boomer
cell
with him.
phones.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
God, I wanted-
they're like, it's like, oh, we're taking up the past. It's like he's throwing out all these goofy things, trying to sound, trying to sound highfalutin and poetic. And there's like, what do we need to dig up bones for? T-Rexes have been around since the 90s.
If I were Alan, I would have pushed them into the dinosaur grave and just buried them there and left them for whatever comes up and digs them up 65 million years later. Man,
Yeah.
that was annoying.
And
Hey, Jake.
Yay, Cambric!
Oh, you didn't do that for Edwin.
No, I'm sorry. I just thought of it.
Yeah, but anyway, I did think that was funny. There's a few lines in here that I swear are meant to be a little bit meta. I thought that was kind of one of them.
There's a lot of get it, winking at the camera.
Yeah, but
in
it's
this film.
not as
It's not annoying.
It's not nearly as blatant as what a lot of things have tended to be.
No,
there wasn't nearly even with compared to especially the first Jurassic World. I felt like they really toned down the nostalgia baiting, which I really appreciated. I don't mind homages, but let's not overdo it.
I don't know. I feel like this one got kind of close. Was there really any reason for Dodgson to drop the can of shaving the same one while the same dinosaur is attacking the guy?
That's probably the one where they.
I want to say that.
We'll save it. We'll save it.
And
but,
I want. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they brought back Sam Neill back and they give it his character like the beard from the original novel version, and that's what I don't know if I'm right. That's from in the novel that Grant had a beard in it. I mean, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't read the book in a while.
I never read the book.
There are actually some things in this that were in the original Jurassic Park
quite a few
novel,
things,
which is actually interesting. Biosyn is one of them. Because that was a rival corporation, and yes, Dodgson was in the original novel. We see him very briefly in the first movie. He's the guy who hires Nedry, and in the novel they actually talk about how he is the head of Biosyn, and then he comes back in the Lost World novel. He's actually the main villain, but he got replaced by a new character in the Lost World movie. And and Biosyn, like I said, is in that one, but they just left Biosyn out in the very first movie.
And I want to talk about there are some Easter eggs in this one scene, like aka cameos. I mean, they're like there was this one Easter egg, and actually I think there were two in this one scene where Alan Grant and reunites with Ali Sattler, and when they reunite in the desert digging up bones, it's Ali Sattler, like Alan Grant, and then when they chit chat, I mean, I like the part when Grant saw the old photo of them that was like from the first film when from the beginning when they're digging up bones, and then Alan has that red striped shirt and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
when we first see Sattler, she gets out of a car and takes her sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't sound impressed.
No. I really don't mind that stuff. I really don't. I know a lot of people drink it up, and I know a lot of people get genuinely upset. I'm kind of a sucker. I will fall for that stuff. I will, but I know I'm being manipulated.
Yeah,
I know it's cheesy, but I don't care. I
know I'm being manipulated, but I will let myself be manipulated.
Yeah, and
good impression of me. Thank you.
And I know some of you have seen Jurassic Park 3. I mean, remember the resume chamber of the Velociraptor. When blowing it makes. Well, it is in this film for as an Easter egg.
It's right in front of Ellie. Yeah.
That one. Yeah, that one makes a great Easter egg.
I love that that's there. I remember when, and I think I might have mentioned this in the Jurassic World episode, but there was a genuine curiosity amongst Jurassic Park peeps as to whether or not World was even acknowledging the Lost World in Jurassic Park 3. Maybe it just skipped over them in the canon and it was a direct sequel to the original, which I'd like to think nobody thought that was a good idea. That would have been dumb. So I like seeing the little Jurassic Park 3 Easter egg. I love that the chamber was there. I love that he got it back. He brought it home. He put it on the stand.
There was also talk in this one of Site B, which
there was a mention about Site B.
I like to interpret it as kind of a backhanded acknowledgement of
and
Isla Sorna.
And remember in the third film when Alan was saying to visit Ellie's place? I mean, playing with with at least kid. I mean, with and her husband arrives named Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Little
you
Charlie
kn-
and husband Mark.
yeah, and when they talk about their life, and when Ella's talking about how's Mark, and then Alan's Ellie's like, it's over. I think they're divorced.
I clapped in the theater. I clapped. That
Yeah,
was a beautiful
because
moment.
yeah, that's like
Wow, dude.
yeah, they were divorced, and
It's about time. They were never meant for each other.
yeah, and I thought, yeah, I can't wait to see Alan's
I'm
eyes
Danny
wide.
DiManna. I root for divorce.
I wanted her and Alan to be together, man. Ever
I
since I was
know.
10 years old.
Yeah,
Make it happen. I waited 20 years. Give me this moment.
Like when she said that, I knew that Alan's eyes were wide a little bit, and I know that he was gonna win her back.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious from that point that that's what they were going to do, which was something that Sam Neill had always said as kind of a thing, because he has gone on record multiple times as saying that he thinks his Grant performance from the third film is his best in the role. And it very well might be. It's a little bit more dynamic. He has a little bit more to say and do. And he always said that he felt sad that Grant and like that Ellie had gotten married. And he's like, Grant missed his shot. Maybe one day I'll end up in another one and I'll have another crack at it, and maybe love will blossom. And it happened. So good job, Dr. Grant. Heck yeah. That's called playing the long game.
Senior citizen romance.
Heck yeah. Still older than her. Still a lot older, but it's okay.
They're both old now.
They're both.
Yeah, and
he was like 70 something when he shot. Like, I don't remember, but yeah, like he doesn't look as his age. He really doesn't. But the man is in his 70s.
I mean, Sean Connery was. I need to remember my verb tenses there. Was only 12 years older than Harrison Ford.
Sure was.
No one cared.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Yeah, but since we are talking about Sam Neill and Lauren Dern, let's talk about Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum back as in Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm is still going on about he technically gives us the title drop in his in the first time we see him when he's doing the speech.
He does.
Basically telling what we've already known from watching the Monsterverse, you know.
Yeah. And
you know that humans can't.
And I'm surprised that he
have
shaved
no
his
dominion over
beard.
nature and blah blah blah.
I'm surprised that he shaved his beard. But then
they wanted to make him look more like the first movie. They put him in the leather jacket. They gave him the same hair, although it's gray now, and they shaved his beard off. They just tried to make. They even gave Ellie the same pink jacket in one scene. So they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They knew.
Yeah, and
I was totally willing to believe that he had turned into quite the cynic, even more of a cynic. And then it just turns out, oh wait, nope, I'm just having the barista make coffee so I can tell you what's really happening.
Yeah, he's still the same guy from the previous films, and especially the original. I mean, not so much that he was in the Lost World. I mean, I like his personality. It's like so you're saying there are dinosaurs on that island, and I like it.
I also like how he's gained 2 extra children over the 30 years, because he had 3.
Yeah.
He had 3. Now he's got 5.
I was gonna get to that. Yeah, in this one, he says as about his kids, he says 5, but in the original, he says he said he has 3.
He's gained 2 children.
But in the Lost World, he only has 1 kid, and in this one, he says now he has 5 kids.
Hysterical.
Either he gets around or he can't remember how many children he has.
No, he just added 2 children. Like he just added 2 children to his menagerie.
Like Sarah to Miss Hardy, Sarah Hardy.
Yeah, no mention of Sarah. No mention of Sarah.
Yeah, they never mentioned her.
Yeah, she was. I mean, they were throwing out all kinds of names for people they might they could put into this movie. If they'd added like one more character, this thing would have unzipped at all the seams and popped. But like Sarah Harding could have been, maybe they could have snuck her in there. And of course, the big omissions are little Lex and little Tim. Wouldn't that have been cool?
We haven't seen them since
the second one. That's it.
Yeah,
and it was like 3 seconds.
Yeah, they never bring back the kids. Probably they don't know what to do with them in this, and
they probably have as many nightmares as the other characters.
We just assume they've been in therapy for the last 3 decades. Poor kids. Every child. And that's where Sarah is. She's in there. There's an entire spinoff waiting to happen. All the children from these movies over 30 years going to like group therapy. Like that one
Jurassic Park group therapy.
Yeah, like that one Saw movie where all the survivors just kind of get together and talk about how like, yeah, my fingers are gone because this guy made me cut. Yeah, like that's what it is. But it's like Jurassic Park children. It's Sarah and Lex and Tim. They're all grown up. And then Gray and what's the brother's name from the Jurassic World? Help me out.
I know who you're talking about. That just makes me think that that's a movie waiting to happen.
Yeah,
it's like
support group.
It's a support group for Last Girls.
Wow.
Yeah. So who did you outwit? Oh, it was Jason. Oh, he's a freak. Yeah. It's. Oh, yeah, I survived Freddy Krueger, and then you got the kids. You got the kids from the first 2 movies. Like, try T-Rexes and raptors.
Yeah, it's like I kicked a Jurassic Park dinosaur with my super cool gymnastics powers. Yes, Sarah, we know. Yes, you tell the story every Thursday night. We know.
You're the only one here who isn't paralyzed by trauma.
Yeah, but that would have been cool. But it's nice to have the original trio back, and it's nice that they all were in the same space, talking to each other. Star Wars, and none of them died. Star Wars, and none of them had like I
really thought one of them was going to die.
I thought Malcolm might get it at one point. I thought
I did. I really did too. And I don't. Maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they thought to themselves, you know what? They're going to expect us to kill one of the classic characters, and we're going to advantage and then not kill them.
Yeah, I was going to say before I saw the film, like I have this feeling of one of the original cast might die in this one, but no, they didn't.
Nope, and they
and thank God they didn't.
They didn't do it. They literally, if you think about it, like the Star Wars crew, they didn't let the 3 of them do anything, and then they all died. And then one of them died in real life, and it was horrible. So they're like, you know what? We're not going to squander this. We've got all 3 original players. We're going to have them play off each other just like they did 30 years at the time, 29 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. And we're going to give them scenes together, and we're going to let them live happily ever after. And we're going to let Grant and Ellie be together, and we're going to let Jeff Goldblum unbutton his shirt and go, oh, at least once. And we're just going to let them do their thing. Give the people what they want. It's fine. It's okay.
This
it's all good.
Hard, guys.
It's not hard. You don't have to subvert our expectations all the time. Just be fun. Just do fun.
I would argue they subverted our expectations by not subverting our expectations.
It's expectationception.
Yeah, and guys, and I also want to talk about this one character who hasn't been heard or seen since the original film. I want to talk about the main villain in this one, Louis Dodgson. Yeah. What first when I saw this in theaters, when I did heard the name of this new this guy who owns Biosyn, like they said about Louis Dodgson. I mean, I was like, why does that seem so familiar? I was like, Dodgson. And then it's come back to me. I did in theaters when I heard it. I did this, like, Dawson, we got Dawson here.
Everybody, I'm sure everybody.
And guess what? Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
I was waiting
that's
for
my
Dennis to say nobody cares.
Yeah, that's my Dennis Nedry reference.
And it's an interesting case because you could be forgiven for not making that connection, as it is not the same actor. The original actor, however, is unhireable, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I gotta say that's not the the same actor who played Dodson, and no, he's
No, but they got a
I
good replacement for him.
yeah, I can't remember the guy's name who played the original Dodson in the original film, but
I don't remember, but he is. If he's not in prison, he should be. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not. No, he wasn't. He's unhireable. You can't put him in movies anymore. But they got a new guy. I got a good new guy to do it.
Yeah, he was replaced by this actor that I know he was from. He's from the Amazing Spider-Man duology as Peter Parker's dad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
the ones I've never
Campbell
seen.
Scott is the current actor.
That's the name.
He replaced Cameron Thor.
Interesting. The ones I've never seen. No wonder I didn't recognize that.
You never seen the Amazing Spider-Man duology?
No. I've seen one Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 3. I'm behind.
Oh.
I should probably at least watch Far From Home. I hear that one's good.
Yeah, I like the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
You might want to watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies to get the most out of.
I know everything that happens in them. It's been 11 years since the first one. Everything's been spoiled. I know it all. I know everything. I'll sit and watch them one day. I have no reason not to. I just haven't.
Are you cursed with knowledge?
I know. It's an 11-year-old movie. It's been. Oh God! I'm
Edwin has decreed it.
I will add it to my very long list of movies that I need to watch.
And then we will argue over who is the best Spider-Man.
But we already know the answer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I like the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
That's the answer. That's that's the one.
Let's get back
Best
to
Peter
the
Parker anyway.
But let's get back to
Dodgson.
Oh,
yeah, Dawson. We got Dawson in this film. Dodson,
and he's such a.
No one cares.
He's so kooky. He's such a weirdo. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think the weirdest moment he has is when he rage quits.
Yeah, he just like
he's like
what the who made that performance decision? Was that the actor or did the director tell him, I want you to rage quit a
This is not the Dawson we know from the original film.
No,
I mean,
we saw it for one scene.
Yeah, with Dennis Nedry. He's the one who handed
a lot to go off.
He's the one who handed Nedry the shaving cream,
which he still has.
Yeah, I mean, which we'll get to that in any moment. But I mean, he's Dawson in this one. There are some moments he's kind of like the Steve Jobs style moment.
He's very much a Steve Jobs parody. They're making fun of Steve Jobs. Like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I miss Steve Jobs. He's like the original Apple owners of the iDevices, like the iPhone, the iPods,
Macintors.
He's also the reason Toy Story exists because he co-founded Pixar.
I miss that guy, but anyway, like Dawson, he's not like from the original. His personality is different and all that. He's more interested of trying to find.
It's more in line with the book. With the books.
Yeah, the bugs. We'll get to that soon. And I gotta say that I know when you mentioned that he still has the canister, the shaving cream, but yeah, I was gonna when that appears of the shaving cream, which is all a little rusty after 30 years.
Apparently, he finds it in Camp Cretaceous.
Yeah, he did found it in Camp Cretaceous.
The last season, the only season I haven't watched yet, of course. So yeah, he finds it in. I don't make Netflix money, you guys. I can't do that. I don't have money for Netflix. But yeah, the guy he finds it in that season. Dodgson is a main character. Well, no, he's an antagonist in the final season of Camp Cretaceous. So that's how he gets it.
Yeah, that's how he found it. I mean, yeah, when I watched this, like, Oh, so that's how he got the canister after 30 years. I mean, well, in Camp Cretaceous, he said he could have used this 25 years ago. So he found this after 25 years.
Crazy.
Was Camp Cretaceous before or after this movie?
Before. It's an interquel. It happens.
A midquel?
It happens during the events. The first season happens during the events of Jurassic World's fall in the first film, and then it bridges the gap up until the beginning of Fallen Kingdom. Literally, you see the T-Rex attacking the helicopter. They just redid that scene, and it basically exists alongside the movies and interweaves through them and around them and kind of on the periphery of their story leading up to Dominion. And I want to say that the series ended right before Dominion came out or shortly thereafter. And now there's a new sequel series.
Chaos Theory?
Chaos Theory.
Yeah, which I still haven't seen.
Haven't seen it. Need to see it. Want to see it. Got to see it. Haven't seen it.
Apparently, at least Camp Cretaceous is remarkably violent for a children's show.
Ooh, it's not gory, but they don't shy away from the things that you don't see. And quite frankly, not seeing it is just as disturbing as seeing it. You can't put a person getting disemboweled on this show because it's for children, but you know what happens.
Yeah, we're not gonna have two T-Rexes rip a guy in half.
No, you can't do that. But you can talk about it and you can have it happen. You just got to cut to the kids' faces going, and then you can't actually show it, but like it's pretty brutal, and they put those poor children through a lot in that show.
We'll add them to the therapy session.
Yeah. They might be leading the therapy session, but honestly, seeing that can again was again, it's kind of cheap. I know what that is.
Yeah, I was like,
cares? It's the canister from Jurassic Park. I don't.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, no way. And
there it is.
And I'm surprised they didn't use like some dark background, soul music background of this scene when they shot the canister. They should have used like a little spirit theme from Dennis Nedry's theme from the original,
You should have heard his ghost go in the background. Do the Newman laugh. That one.
I mean, we had a Nedry clone for 3 seconds in this
2
movie.
seconds. There's no.
Oh yeah, there was a scene that there's that guy kind of almost looked like Dennis Nedry.
That is 200% intentional. It's 210, but there's no.
Which is not related to Dennis Nedry.
No, because I'm choosing to believe he did not leave any descendants, because he was a thoroughly unlikable person. I struggle to find any reason why any woman would have said, "Yeah, I'll have coffee with that guy. He seems nice.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice espionage man. Like I'll go."
I just wish he could have said something to that Justin Smith's character saying, "Do you want a soda or something?" Like in the original.
I don't know.
I'm just using references from the original.
Money around, someone's gonna go to coffee.
Yeah.
He's like, "You want to see the money I got by selling out Jurassic Park?"
Mm-hmm. And also, I know you talk about how did Dawson found the canister from Camp Cretaceous. Like, I got they didn't when Dawson found the canister on a pile of sand, which is supposed to be like dirt, all mud, because of happening after Ninja was attacked by the Dilophosaurus. I mean, I know that's all sand when Dawson found it after 25 years. I was like, they didn't. I was surprised. Like, they did not show the Jeep and Dawson and Nedry's skeleton in there.
That's a little much.
Yeah, they didn't show that. That's because that's what.
I don't think there would have been much left of him
30 years later.
Or I'm saying that the Jeep was there.
If you want to see that, if dead Dennis Nedry is your jam, there's a sentence I just said. The Telltale Jurassic Park game. Yes.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I
like
was-
the same night. So he's not a skeleton. It's just him open and very
just
dead.
what's left of him. Although speaking of Nedry's death, ironically, the guy who hired him ends up the same way.
Yeah, which we'll get to that soon. I mean,
Yeah.
Because in the game, I mean, in the Jurassic Park, the game, which I used to play it on Xbox 360, like they actually found his Jeep and with the Dilophosaurus in there, but the Dilophosaurus escapes and they found Nedry all dead, like this, like. But they're trying to find the cancer, but that cat burglar lady just found the canister in a pile of mud, trying to track the steps.
Did she ever get off the island with that canister? I don't remember what happened to it in the story.
Yeah, well, in the game, in the ending of the game, when there is like a simple choice, like in the end, like either save that girl who was like a daughter, or just get the canister. But when you go save the daughter that she gave out the canister, the T-Rex just steps on the canister. But when you chose the canister, when she grabs it, the Rexy just kind of ace her with the canister.
So she loses both. That's right. I remember that now.
So I guess it can't be canon.
It can't be.
Yeah,
that was what I asked. Yeah.
Yeah. So that game was like scratched, like erased on it. So they decided to come up with a new way how to get the canister back.
So it's not canon. You can't just slot it in, I guess.
The can is not canon.
Yeah.
It hurts. That was pretty funny. Good job. Yep.
Yeah.
No more canister. But yeah, that was a nice Easter egg. And it's like they thought when they were making it, they probably thought it would be the last one. At least the people making the film thought it would. So yeah, just put the canister in there. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, after 30 years.
No reason not
I'm
to.
curious what they think they're going to do with Rebirth, but we're not here to talk about Rebirth. Although Gareth Edwards directing it might be interesting.
And I know you just mentioned that Dawson just his death was in the same way that Nedry was 30 years ago of the Dilophosaurus, which it has like 3 Dilophosaurus surrounded Dawson in the monorail tunnel thing, and yeah, they
Hyperloop is what it's called.
Yeah, it kind of gives a little deja vu, like.
The only thing that this would have been a little bit much is if he had said something about Nedry right there. It's like, so this is how so this must be how Nedry felt or something like that. It would have been stupid.
But he said something. But he said like, "What's your story?" They just piss on him, and then
no, just he goes, "Anybody want a soda or something?" Right in the face.
Yeah.
Right in the face, and he gets it, and it's a little dumb. But it's perfect somehow. Like it's poetically justified. You can't.
It's like how in Indiana Jones, all the bad guys end up dying because in some sort of gross, gruesome fashion.
Yeah.
Same
You're waiting for it.
Oh, if there's an antagonist in a Jurassic Park movie, something's gonna eat him.
Something's gonna eat him, and you're waiting. And every one of those guys, like you're waiting for Dennis to get it in the first film. You're waiting for Hammond's smarmy, slimy nephew to get it in the second movie, and he gets it in the best way. Third one doesn't have an antagonist in that way, but you're waiting for Wilson Fisk to get it in Jurassic World. Fisk. You're waiting for and again, the same thing, the freaking smarmy nephew. It's in Fallen Kingdom, it's the same setup. And he gets it. It's really funny.
Hammond has 2 smarmy nephews?
Well, that's the other guy. It's Lockwood's smarmy nephew.
Oh.
It's the same dynamic. Old sick man geneticist in bed, and then his smarmy nephew takes over. It's the same movie in that regard.
Note to self, eliminate all smarmy nephews.
Smarmy British nephews, not good. I mean, this guy isn't British, though. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But this movie has, you want to see Dodgson go. You know he's going to die. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it.
And that makes, because he's the one who causes all the Jurassic Park a shutdown because of the power. Like he's the
Yeah.
one who causes a disaster of the dinosaur.
Well, that and he lights giant locusts on fire. I mean, geez.
As you do.
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
as you do.
and I know I mentioned the
I
Dilophosaurus,
light
but
giant locusts on fire every other Tuesday.
okay,
Same.
let's talk about those. Those, what you just mentioned, giant locusts. Locusts. I mean, I hope
Which
I'm
I know for
pronouncing that.
some people they didn't like that because like I didn't go to a Jurassic Park movie to see giant bugs.
Yeah.
The bugs are
Well,
barely in the movie.
well, I kind of call them the swirling leaf gobblers.
Yeah. I get
it?
that reference.
Yeah, I call them that now.
I do not like swarming leaf gobblers. No, no.
Yeah, like yeah. Oh yeah, from the Mysterious Island. Like, you ever watched Land Before Time?
I have not seen Land Before Time in ages.
That was my
Yeah,
childhood.
Yeah, I like those. I mean, yeah, those giant locusts in this film. I was like, what? There's bugs in this?
Listen, if they can put pterosaurs and mosasaurs into a movie about dinosaurs, they can put giant bugs into a movie about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Speaking of pterosaurs, did anyone else get the feeling that they may have homaged Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, in that opening shot with them hanging out on the building?
I didn't, but that's possible.
Anyway,
I was thinking Q the Winged Serpent.
That it could be that too. Anyway, giant locusts.
Giant locusts.
Yeah, I would. So when I saw this in theater, when the giant locusts appeared, there was like a whole swarm of them in the cornfield, and like I was like, and then when they when they show a close-up shot of them, I mean, that always makes you think like, isn't this like from Land Before Time 5 of the Mysterious Island, swirling leaf gobblers? And they are.
That's literally the same animal. Yeah, that's literally the same animal.
Yeah, they're almost like related to the grasshopper family. They're like giant grasshoppers, but they went extinct.
They're locusts. They are related to grasshoppers, except they have wings and they can fly.
Yeah,
also,
and
two more children who are going to therapy.
Yeah, and those creatures made weird bug sounds, like yeah. And I gotta be. I know I was always like afraid of bugs a little bit, but especially spiders. But I've always afraid those little ones might get on me, especially grasshoppers. But those giant locusts, like there's like almost like the size of cats. So
yeah,
like they're actually don't freak me out. They're actually kind of cute looking.
I like them.
Wow,
I dig them, and they were practical. They were.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I like the way how
animatronics that were made for this, which
a lot.
Yeah, but actually, Brendan, you don't have to worry about grasshoppers and locusts hurting you. They don't bite people.
I know, they just land on me. I was like, get it off me. Yeah,
they don't hurt.
Yeah,
people.
but I don't. Yeah, but the giant
just look weird.
Yeah, but the giant locusts, it's the size of cats, don't freak me out at all. They just look cute looking.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you saw one of those in real life, you might be like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, like I like the way how Ali Sattler like took like a little earwax thing. I mean, to use like to scan DNA. Like I like to actually put Q-tip. They put it in the locust's mouth. Like it's kind of a cute moment. It's like then she put it in the DNA, make sure it's just like,
hey Ellie, what are you gonna feed me? What is that? Oh, yummy, it's cotton. I prefer corn though.
Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie. She goes to tell Grant, she's like, so
talking bugs.
I was like, I just I had to examine a talking locust. It's like, oh, try a raptor. I mean,
oh, I've been there. Helen.
and those giant locusts in the film does not make sense at all. I mean, I forgot how they explain why these locusts is in this film.
It's actually pretty simple. They use the dinosaur DNA to make them bigger and hungrier. and engineered them so that they will eat anything except for crops that have been treated with their products, which means they'll be the only people who can sell seeds to farmers, and they'll make a gazillion dollars.
They would control the entire food supply of the planet just because of the famine that these bugs would make. And it's actually a rather pretty good idea. It's not a bad, if you're into being a dang dirty terrorist, it's not
Yeah,
a bad idea.
Say, that's one of the things I have to say I appreciate about Dominion is it actually takes this franchise in a new direction.
It does.
While still staying true to what it is, corporate
it goes in new
engineering, messing with nature, all that sort of stuff.
It goes in new directions while doing the exact same thing you've seen 6 times. Somehow. I don't know how it does that, and like if it actually does it. It actually does it.
Yeah, it's not like how in Fallen Kingdom where the second half of the movie, it's like, you know what, guys? Let's make Dracula, but with a raptor.
It's pretty cool, wasn't it?
What?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so yeah, it kind of makes sense of what you just brought up, Nathan. And speaking of raptors, I mean, let's talk about the new dinosaurs. Start off with, first of all, I know Blue is in this one back, and she has a baby in it. Beta, and I am surprised she only has a few scenes in this film.
Yeah, Blue's not really. Yeah, she didn't have a lot of room.
It's a little surprising, although I don't think she would have fit into this story.
There's nothing he could do. They go globetrotting,
and she's the only Velociraptor, aside with Beta.
Yeah, unless this was a cartoon where you have this group of characters who are going globetrotting and they have a pet raptor that follows them around everywhere.
Jurassic World, the animated series, coming from Hanna-Barbera this fall.
Yeah, and
you know what? I'd watch it.
And Blue and Beta, and you know where their home is? They live in an abandoned school bus.
Which means they ate all the children. No, I'm just kidding. That was just a crashed school bus. Probably just been there for a while. Probably swerved out off the road to avoid a brontosaur or something. I don't know. Actually, this is kind of interesting. So she's supposed to be the last raptor. She's been the last raptor since the first film, and the other ones got killed. So riddle me this, Batman. Sorry, turned into John Lithgow there for a second. It won't happen again. I was quite a fan of what they were doing with the viral marketing leading up to this movie, where they would release quote unquote like civilian camp, like civilians would be finding dinosaurs in the wild, and they'd be sending in this footage, and it was actually pretty cool. They did a lot of cool stuff with it. It was like people on their phones, people with camcorders, and obviously it was all staged and all the dinosaurs were CG and such, but they made it look authentic and kind of candid. And there were a couple of these that were pretty darn cool. One of them, Bumpy, showed up from the Camp Cretaceous. So, hey, Bumpy's alive, everybody. If you know what I'm talking about, then you're deeper into the lore than this, that a lot of people are. But one of these videos had quilled raptors from the third film running around. The quilled Velociraptors.
Really?
Jurassic Park 3, yeah. My favorite raptor design. So I was glad to see a couple.
I did not see that.
Yeah, there's a short video, and you got to zoom in on it, but it's like, is that an Atrocerator? No, that's the female, one of the females from Sorna. And one of the quilled males was there. So according to the viral marketing, there are other raptors. So what gives Universal Studios, what gives Colin Trevorrow, if that is your real name? You want to explain that one? It's not it's clearly the answer is that the viral marketing is not canon, and it's just for fun. But that
Bumpy is not alive?
No, Bumpy's alive. Bumpy, they can't kill Bumpy. Bumpy's in Dominion for like 2 seconds at the end. You got to zoom in, but she's grazing with other ankylosaurs in the valley. At least I think that's her. But yeah, Bumpy's around. Bumpy's cool. You can't kill Bumpy. You can't kill Bumpy. That's horrible.
And I was gonna say that I know my favorite moments with Blue and Beta, like Beta is a girl, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Just
I like
like
how Blue and Beta spend time together in the winter environment. It's kind of like a mother and daughter moment, and I like the way how Blue teaches Beta like how to hunt, like they're trying to hunt this rabbit, and
It turns out they were going after the mountain lion. That was
yeah, that was a nice shot. That was a good switcheroo. I liked that. You thought
yeah,
that
I
was
like the way
a
that's
rabbit.
kind of like that moment when Blue's teaching Beta to hunt like a rabbit or a fox or something like. That's kind of like a Mufasa Simba moment. Like stay low to the ground.
yeah.
Yeah.
They just better be glad. None of them. All of them, I should say, just better be glad that was
And
not a rabbit that encountered King Arthur.
Look at the bones.
and but they were distracted by hunters, two of them, which they were killed by Blue.
Yes, good. no tear. The poachers in this movie are horrible people. So
Whatever happened to what's his name from the Lost World? How would he be feeling right now?
Roland Tempo retired with I kept
you
thinking he retired.
He would have been like, it's like, I retired and now there are dinosaurs everywhere.
What are you talking about?
Bad time.
Wait a minute, are you talking about that one bald guy from the Lost World?
Yes.
Mhm.
I would have loved it if he had come out of retirement. He's like, I'm gonna go get me one last buck.
Honestly, I'd like to. They couldn't do it in film because Pete Postlethwaite is no longer with us. But
Yeah, I
that's
know.
a comic waiting to happen.
He was great in the Lost World, and
he might be my favorite character in any of the Jurassic Park.
Give me
I
a
love
comic
him.
book. Just give me a comic book.
yeah, and
It's set during this time frame where he's like, I came out of retirement so I could get
yeah,
myself
because he
one
said
more
in the Lost
dinosaur."
World, saying, "I believe I spend too much time in the company of death."
Yes.
Well, okay, that's true. So he probably wouldn't be doing it, but
No, he got his buck only. He's done. He's hunted. He did the most dangerous game thing, right? He hunted the most dangerous thing on the planet, and now he's done. And he didn't even step on a butterfly. So kudos to you, man. Well done. You know, no time stream issues. But yeah. A lot of crazy dinos running around.
With as many returning characters as we have in this, I'm surprised they didn't go try to get a few more because we had obviously the original trio. We had Dodgson. Dr. Wu came back again.
He's that guy's like a bad penny at this point.
Mhm.
You can't shake him.
Yeah,
He's such a-
Yeah, he's back.
But at least in this one, he gets some redemption.
He does, and he a great head of hair. My goodness.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I was just like, is he okay?
No,
Or was that just like, I just feel like growing my hair out and not a Dr. Dorff situation where he's just like hiding.
Yeah, I wanna
underground
talk-
and
Yeah.
and just lets the hair go.
Okay, I want to get to him that soon. I mean, first I want to get back to this character Maisie, the clone girl. I mean,
Mhm.
I know we just brought up about her. She's the
Is that
clone,
the same
and
actress from the other movie?
of course it is.
yeah,
Is
she's
it?
a little grown up. She's a teenager.
Yeah, I haven't watched Fallen Kingdom in a hot minute, so I don't know.
It's
And
4 years does a lot to a child.
And when I saw this in theaters of scenes of her, like when she's I love her accent voice.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she's been living for 4 years with a bunch of Americans, and that accent is still as thick as ever.
I don't know.
This is how she talks like this, and
She's got a very deep. She actually sounds like weirdly a lot older than she actually is.
yeah, she
Yeah. Like it's.
Is
She
that
was.
because
Oh
of
god.
kind of
Is
gives
that
it like
just-
a
is that her
British
performance?
accent.
Is that her performance or the script, do you think?
I'm not entirely sure. It
She-
sounds like her normal voice to me. So I
Yeah,
think.
she has like a little British accent to
Well,
it.
she's definitely British. What's her name?
Isabella Sore.
Isabella.
Bellasaur?
That's
That's a
funny.
joke, right?
No, it's a real last name, Nathan.
Yeah,
Isabella couldn't. Oh gosh, I just watched the movie. I just watched the credits. You think I'd remember what this little girl's name is? Oh no. I'm sorry, Isabella, wherever you are. You were
Yeah,
really good in
well-
both movies. I'm
well,
sorry.
Well, she just
Sermon?
entered.
Isabella Sermon. Isabella Sermon. That's it. I
Yeah.
remembered. We're good.
Well, Isabel
Yeah,
Stern just.
Isabella Sermon. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Isabel Stern just entered her adult years. She just turned 18.
No. Oh, now? You mean now?
I think
Yes.
I don't
She was
remember.
born in 2006.
Oh, no, that does. Oh, no, she's like 19, 18, 19? That's crazy. Oh,
Yeah,
no, she was so little.
She turns 19 in July.
That's insane. She was so tiny. Where did the time go?
yeah,
That's-
she's going to turn
And the
19.
only movie she's been in is this and Fallen Kingdom.
These are her only 2 films. She's such a good little actress. She should be doing more. I mean, she's
Yeah,
19.
it says
Good Lord.
She's like 10 years younger than me.
It says she's done some voice acting for radio dramas.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Well,
I hope, yeah.
audio dramas, excuse me.
I hope she keeps acting. I thought she just broke my heart in Fallen Kingdom. She was so good in that film. Just absolutely broke my heart. So I was happy to see her back. I'm a sucker for like found family movies anyway. So the fact that Owen and Claire adopted her really, like, I thought that was just so sweet.
Yeah.
But you do. I think she's great. I think she's great in this.
Yeah.
And understandably angsty in the beginning. That's what being 14 and a shut-in will do to you. So it makes sense. And then you find out a lot about her in this one. There's a lot of lore dumping going on with her in this film.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that she gets some pushback from her parents.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just, I really hate it when we have, unless there's a reason for it, where we just have these movies, TV shows, or wherever, where the kids just walk all over their parents and they get little to no pushback. But here they're like, no, you're not doing this because X, Y, and Z. And the parents have legitimate reasons.
And then it happens.
It is not unreasonable that they are like, no, you got to stay here.
No, they could have maybe explained it a little better to her, but they're learning. You know, no parents is perfect.
And Clara Owen just keep her hidden from some bad people from Biosyn, and some poachers just finally found her in the cabin, and they actually kidnapped her, and they trying to stop. They stopped her, and then took her far away. I mean, and what? Yeah, when they finally got her to Biosyn, to Dr. Woon, like he explained why they can. I think they explained why they kidnapped her, bring her to Biosyn and Dr. Woon, because Dr. Woon like kind of needs her help with something that he heard from Lockwood's daughter, that before her passing. I forgot what the daughter's name was.
Rats.
What? Her mother's name?
Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte Lockwood.
What Charlotte has created that would kind of, I think it was like a cure of saving lives, and
Charlotte had a genetic defect, a genetic disease that was slowly killing her, and so she created a clone of herself and carried her to term, gave birth to her, and encoded basically a gene therapy into her body that cured her. Because again, if little Maisie is a clone, then clearly she would probably have the same genetic disease and would develop it in the same way. But this gene therapy rewrote every cell in her body so that she could grow up. Little Maisie could grow up and never have this disease. And unfortunately, the disease did take her mother's life, but she allowed her daughter to live, and it was her last great act of love. And Wu wants that so that he can. It's not explained very clearly, but he's going to use it to basically take down the locusts, and to find all these crazy cures for other diseases. Like Maisie has a lot of potential in her.
And genetics. I think they said they injected Maisie with raptor DNA?
No.
I don't know.
No. They wanted her DNA for something else. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't It wasn't wrapped. They wanted to study Blue because Blue, not Blue, goodness, Beta. They want to study Beta because Beta had a lot of the same properties that Maisie had. Just like Maisie's mom, Blue was able to generate like this infant within her and carry her to term without the use of a mate. There was no mate. There was no mating. It was an Anakin Skywalker situation. It's like, oh, baby, there's a baby now. And Blue was able to do that without any genetic tinkering. And so they wanted to study both Beta and explaining it. Like when you have to explain it this much, then maybe the movie didn't do the best job explaining it.
Yeah, I didn't. When I watched the scene, I did not. Some of it I didn't catch. I mean, I'm trying to understand what was going on.
It's very dense. It's very, very.
So Dr. Woon has some people kidnapping her, bring her to him. It's because he wanted Maisie's help.
Yeah, but they that's my nightmare.
Because
I like throw the bike over the bridge. Oh god.
I like how Dr. I like how and I like how Dr. Woon saying, "I'm sorry it didn't turn out that way."
Yeah. By the way, according to Wikipedia, there's a Wikipedia entry for Maisie, and it confirms that she grew up on Isla Sorna.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They actually did mention Isla Sorna. I mean, they show she lives on Site B.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before they evacuated and abandoned it.
Yes, she would have been very little at that point. And a few months before the film came out, it was maybe a little bit longer, closer to a year, Colin Trevorrow, the director, shared an image of a metal crate that was marked Site B, Sorna, and shared it on Twitter. And of course, everybody was like, "Dude, we're going back to Sorna." And I would have loved that, but there was no time in this movie to go back to Sorna. It was in the background of that shot. Those supposedly kind of vintage.
I mean, technically that island still exists. No, wait, no. We talked about this with the first Jurassic World. It actually did get destroyed, didn't it?
It did not get destroyed, but apparently there was some kind of ecological disaster, and they had to move all the dinosaurs. And they do mention, to their credit in this film, that some of the Sorna dinosaurs are in this Biosyn sanctuary, and we do see two of them at the end.
The same two T-Rexes from the Lost World,
the Buck and the Doe, are alive. No sign of the baby.
The ones who ripped that poor guy in half?
Yeah, they're in the movie at the very end, and they meet Rexy.
I knew that was going to be the Buck and Doe, but not the baby?
No, baby, there's no word on the baby. Maybe the baby, I mean, I hope the baby
grew up. Baby probably grew up.
The baby, I mean, there's clearly not a baby anymore 30 years later, but the baby just wasn't in that shot. Maybe the baby is somewhere else in the valley, hanging out with the 3 pteranodons from Jurassic Park 3 or something. Maybe they found them too.
Eating them?
Yeah, they're friends. They vacation together on the Riviera.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. What nobody knows is that the Land Before Time is actually happening in one of these in the background, but they don't want anybody to know. Like all of the babies got together and they're bridging the gaps between the herbivores and the predators. It's great.
The baby grew up to be Sharptooth. The end.
Yeah.
Oh no, which Sharptooth? I suppose that's the real question. But yeah, that was them. And then supposedly there are raptors running around. I don't friggin' know. Like they just kind of, I don't know.
Speaking of raptors, let's talk about the newest raptors in it, the Troceraptors.
They are cool.
They're like the new. I feel like they're like the new replacement of the Velociraptors.
Those are the thoroughbred ones, right?
Yeah, she literally says thoroughbred raptors.
Thoroughbreds. By the way, that actress, I actually when I first saw this movie, I was like, I recognize her from somewhere. Where do I recognize her from?
You're a Dollhouse fan, aren't you?
What?
You're a Dollhouse fan, aren't you?
Actually, no. I recognized her from something else. First I thought she was Chinese. I actually looked up. She's actually Nepalese.
Can you say that on the internet? You can't say that.
What?
I'm kidding. So okay, what did you recognize?
But I recognized her from Agents of Shield.
Oh, okay. I've seen like 2 episodes.
I never seen that.
She played a character's villainous mother.
Interesting. She has such a unique look to her. She has a great villain presence.
She had, and they gave her a great costume in this too. I love the dress she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she used that laser pointer for the Trosseraptors to attack their target.
These things are just large, angry cats.
They're kind of like the same target.
Go get the laser pointer.
Yeah, they kind of like use it. They kind of like when they use it on the Indoraptor.
It's the same thing, and it's actually so similar that they call it out, and they're like, just like the hybrids, but better. We don't do hybrids.
Her name is Deechin Lockman.
Deechin Lockman. That is certainly, amongst other things, a name.
Yeah, she was born in Nepal.
Wow, that's cool.
And then moved to Australia.
As one does.
Wow.
Yeah, I was wrong. She's not Nepalese. Her father is Australian and her mother is Tibetan.
Wow.
That's interesting. That kind of explains. She does have such a unique look. Look.
Yeah, she does.
Sharp enough to cut steaks. Jeez.
Very, very much so. She's very. What's the word I'm looking for? Just almost angular. Like very, like just focused. Intimidating when you put her in that kind of sharp white dress that she's in, and she's not in the film that long. She's only in the Malta scenes basically, but very memorable, and she's a good kind of lackey. She's not a lackey, but she's basically like a sub villain, and she doesn't die. Yeah. She gets arrested.
Yeah, and
fun fact.
Okay,
this is not the first dinosaur movie she's been in.
Yeah. Well, enough about that one villainous hot chick talking about that. Yeah, let's get back to the Trosseraptors.
Well, I want to share this quick fact here. She was in a TV movie, no joke, called Aztec Rex.
Aztec Rex.
It was a Sci-Fi Channel original movie, and it also had Ian Ziering in it.
Hey, Nico Papadopoulos himself, my man. Mm-hmm. That's funny. So I like that. You know what the Trosseraptors reminded me of? They reminded me of kind of the same design aesthetic that went into the tiger stripe raptors from Lost World. But I was snow leopards instead or something. Instead of
tigers. I was gonna say that the one Trosseraptor has a little bit of like a tiger stripe, like from the Lost World raptors, and those Trosseraptors. I mean, their heads. I know their heads almost like a mix between the Velociraptors and a Tyrannosaurus, but mixed together.
They got bigger heads. They're not as long. They're a little bit. Their snouts are stouter. There's a way to say that. They're spooky. They almost look like they're smiling. It's a little scary.
Yeah, and I hear they're much vicious and more faster than the Velociraptors.
At least in this movie, they are.
And
like I said, easy to train with laser pointers because they're cats.
Yeah, and then one of them named was Ghost, Tiger, and one was named Red. And I don't remember what the other Trosseraptor's name was.
So if they had brought Beta's mother along, we could have had Red versus Blue.
Yeah, and I think Red is a male.
Of course it is.
I think. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't check.
And do
you typically check the raptors that you encounter?
I mean, if they brought Blue along with them, and then the Trosseraptors appeared, especially Red, the male Trosseraptor, if Red saw Blue, then you're gonna let this. It will be
There would have either been a fight or a lot more babies.
or being like a love interest, like
That's what I
like
mean. A lot more babies.
a.
So Beta, while you were kidnapped, I got you some brothers and sisters. Your stepdad is a thoroughbred.
Yikes.
And
Yikes.
but sadly,
Dan is
it
like,
never.
and I immediately regret coming on this stream.
I'm gonna look outside and see if I can get that tornado to come back.
Take me
But-
the odds.
and-
Anywhere but
and-
here.
Oh, you guys, you're driving me nuts.
It's our job.
But yeah, but and
You
sadly
love us.
it never happened in the film of bringing Blue along to fight with the atrocities, or I have a long interest with Red, and never happened. Yeah, well, at least we had a chase scene that kind of brings back like from the first Jurassic World film with Owen.
So many set pieces. in
And
this.
that
It's
Owen
crazy.
is driving a motorcycle with the
Owen
Raptors.
loves his motorcycles. I'm just
That
saying.
that it brought back in this one, but with the Trossoraptors.
Actually, since we're talking about this part of the movie, can we talk about my favorite new character in this movie?
Who's your new favorite character?
Kayla,
Kayla.
the pilot.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I don't recognize the
I
names.
love her.
Yeah,
She
what
gives
is-
off so much Han Solo energy. It is great.
yeah, she's kind of like the Han Solo. He tries
I
to
mean,
plane.
like that whole scene when they're there, it's like this is the Star Wars cantina, and Kayla is Han Solo.
And
You know, she has a great look. I love that she drives an old plane.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
feels almost like she belongs in an Indiana Jones movie, to be honest.
right. And I like the part when that big pterodactyl, which I forgot what it's called, Quetzalcoatlus, the biggest pterodactyl in the world.
I don't think they got any bigger. Yeah, Quetzalcoatlus was the largest of the bunch, the largest pterosaur out there. It was the bigger. It's
How could you
oh my
forget
gosh.
about our boy Rodan?
Oh, Rodan is fictional. Nathan, he's not real. I'm sorry you had to hear this from me, but he's
Oh.
not real. He's made up for the movies.
Well, next thing you know, you're going to tell me that Santa's not real.
Now that's nonsense. I'll not hear slander here, sir.
Anyway.
No. Wait, no, leave Santa out of this. That's
But yes, Kayla Watts, played by DeWanda Wise. What a name.
yes.
Yeah, before I saw this film, when I saw the trailers, has some scenes of her in it. For a moment, I thought she's like the daughter of Ian Malcolm from The Lost World, but no, it's not the same one.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, for a moment, I thought it was Ian Malcolm's daughter from The Lost World, but
Yeah,
no, it's just a different character. And
Yeah, it's like, well, what'd you do? Oh, I joined the Air Force to get away from my crazy chaos theory, Dad.
And then she finds him. Like she finds him on the island and she's like, "Dad," and he's like, "Oh no. Look at you. Oh, nice nice plane. What kind of mileage you get on that? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, but
I
a
can
lot
see
of
that.
nothing because because the dinosaurs ate it.
Yeah, there's not a lot left of that plane. Hey, by the way, that was a reference to People That Time Forgot, and I will not be accepting notes. Anybody here see the People That Time Forgot? Just me? Cool. All right. Land That Time Forgot. The Doug McClure Amicus flick from the 70s. You guys seen that dinosaur movie? Land That Time
No.
Forgot?
Wait, wasn't?
Yes,
was that
Mystery
on the
Science
se-
Theater did it in season
Oh,
11.
okay, then I've seen it. Yeah.
Yes. So
I
the sequel.
I never seen it.
Okay, I recommend it. If you love rubber dinosaur puppets, it's a great movie. Get Damon on this pronto. He's seen it. I'm sure he's seen it.
He's
So,
seen it. Come on.
Land That Time Forgot, really fun dinosaur movie. In the sequel, there's a sequence where Doug McClure's character he's still on the island at the end of the first movie, and the sequel, which is, as you might expect, based on the book, as the first one is, they go try to find him. They go to try to find Doug McClure's character, and they take a biplane and Quetzalcoatlus comes out of the sky. Well, it's not a Quetzalcoatlus, but it's a big. I think it's supposed to be like a Rhamphorhynchus or something. It's way too big to be a Rhamphorhynchus, but it's a big pterosaur, and it comes out of the sky and it attacks the plane midair, and they have to land. And hey, Colin Trevorrow, I see you in your dinosaur references from the 60s and 70s. I see you, and I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for putting a reference.
That's been a staple of these movies since the beginning, because they've had a
been
banner
referencing
that said "When dinosaurs ruled the earth."
Yeah, did I mention in the Jurassic World episode that little Gray is looking at slides from the animal world in his viewfinder? Did I mention that?
I don't remember.
I think you did, but I don't remember.
Well, if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. So there's Harryhausen and like classic dinosaur stuff all over this, and they absolutely like. There's no way. Look up footage or just images. I think you can watch the biplane fight on YouTube from people that time forgot. It's the same scene. They did it. They copied it pretty well. I mean, it doesn't play out the same way, but it's clear that they were watching people that time forgot. It's the best scene in the movie, and it's like in the first few minutes. And then after that, it's a little silly. It's a silly movie. It's a little silly. It's got a lot of cave people in it. It's a little silly, but it starts out with the pterosaur attacking a biplane, and I think that does potentially make it a masterpiece just from that. But yeah, Quetzalcoatlus takes down the plane, and they live. They don't die from that, which is great.
Yeah, except Owen decides to eject Claire out, and I'm thinking, I get you think that that might be safer than potentially crashing in the plane, but you're sending her out there where the pterosaurs are probably going to eat her.
He trusted her, and there were two chutes, and she used both chutes. She knows what she's up to.
Yeah.
If I would have put my girlfriend/wife on the parachute, are you kidding me?
Although I gotta say the cinematography for that was actually really cool, where they basically just situated the camera right in front of her, and it gives you a very limited POV. Feels kind of claustrophobic.
That was good. And then, hey, the pterosaurs rip through the parachute just like Jurassic Park 3. Ha referencing.
Yeah, sort of like that.
I see you, Jurassic Park 3. You are still part of this franchise.
I see you. I see you and your parasail, your dinosaur. Get it? It's funny. And I see
your talking raptors.
Your resonating chamber and your lingering plot threads involving Laura Dern-related romance. I see you. I know what you're doing. But yeah, we gotta DeWanda Wise. We're talking about DeWanda Wise. She's cool. She's really cool. She
really steals the movie. I'm gonna be honest. But I give her credit. She can keep up with Chris Pratt. That is not easy to do.
She can. Her hair's on sideways, though. I noticed her hair's on sideways.
Yeah.
No, she has a great look. I tease. She has a great look, a great presence. She was cool. She was really cool.
I'd watch a spinoff movie with her.
I would do that.
And anyway, so earlier I mentioned about how Jurassic World Dominion kind of some scenes reminds me a little bit from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The reason why is they brought back the original cast back, and then it kind of joined with the new cast from the two previous Jurassic World films. How they joined together. This it's kind of like how Ray and her friend into Han Solo and Chewie. When Han Solo and Chewie appeared in the doorway in the Force Awakens, everyone just cheered, and that's sort of like a moment, like when Maisie ran into Alan Grant and Sattler, and I like the way Maisie's like she's kind of like in a moment like when in that scene where Ray was in the Force Awakens saying, "This is a Millennium Falcon. You're Han Solo."
It's very close. Very similar.
Except it's better.
Yeah, this is sort of like that moment.
I did like how when all the characters come together, because we have two parallel plot lines.
Yeah,
the old characters and the new characters, and then when they meet, Owen's like, "I'm a big fan." And
I want to say like when Maisie said like kind of like what Ray said in the Force Awakens, she's like you're Alan Grant, and and Alex Sattler, you guys been to Jurassic Park, and I like the way how Maisie joins with them. This is kind of like a deja vu moment of Alan Grant, because how he's stuck with two kids in the original film. He's stuck with one kid. Well, it says he also stuck with one kid in the third film, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now this is like the third time that Alan has been stuck with a kid, except Allie is joined with him. I know that Alan Grant not much of a kids guy. Like, he doesn't like kids that much, but he learned his lesson in the original, and then in the third Jurassic Park film, and now this. Like,
so you shock them? No, we send signals. Do you know how much electrical current was in the fences of Jurassic Park? Yeah.
Great line. I thought that was very funny. And it was a good moment for Neil, because as much as I adore Sam Neill, there were a couple moments in this movie where he just kind of looked like he was wandering around, didn't know where he was.
yeah,
Like, he would look a little tired and a little like, why am I here? What's going on? Am I in a movie? Like, what's happening? He looked very done, almost like he's thinking to himself, there's no way I'm doing this a third time, right? Like, there's no way that I let myself get into this situation a third time with dinosaurs that want to kill me. The second time was contrived enough. Why did I do, and bugs, and now there are bugs, and I'm still here.
Yeah, and
he did it for the girl. I get it.
And I also like how when Macy was asking them questions, like, I think, like, are you two together? It's like, oh no, we work together. It's like, do you have kids? And Alex like, well, I do. Really? But not with him.
No.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I just like that moment. Alan says like, oh no, I'm not much of a kids guy, you know. Yeah, like, I just love that. And I love how they're trying
to die, Danny.
I'm okay. It's fine. I asked for new lungs for Christmas. I've just got a few more months to go. That's fine.
And I like how they are in this cave, in this mine with a bunch of, I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Dimetrodons? The
Dimetrodons, who are not, they're not dinosaurs at all.
Nope. They're not even technically. Well, I mean, they are reptiles, but they're weird reptiles. They're a weird kind of reptile.
They're from the late Cretaceous period.
My friend Bex has an emotional support Dimetrodon.
Yeah, Dimetrodons never lived at the same time as dinosaurs. They lived millions of years before the first dinosaur existed. They're not even related to dinosaurs. They're from a completely different branch that died out of mammalian-like reptiles that may have been warm-blooded. We don't know. Maybe they found that out and didn't tell me yet. I don't know. I'll Google it one day. But yeah, Dimetrodons are not related to dinosaurs. They are Permian. That's pre-Triassic. So there were no dinosaurs around when those guys were around. They're much older.
They're just normal reptiles. They would went extinct years ago before dinosaurs.
Yeah, same as the Dilophosaurs. There was a whole line of mammalian sail-backed reptiles that existed. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that they got something from that long ago. I think that might, oh goodness, does that make them the oldest thing that they brought back, like in the franchise, pre-dinosaur? Yeah, or would the locusts be that, because they would have come from Carboniferous, which is older? Hey, let's do this.
I don't know.
Let's get back to the movie.
Like I like to when they're trying to escape from those Dimetrodons, and then I think Alice's hat fell out, and Ellie's like, "Forget the hat."
Yeah, R.I.P. Grant's hat, which has survived a lot, and it didn't survive this movie. It's the only character that died. The only heroic character that died was his hat. Very sad. I'd like to think that it survived, and maybe he went back and got it, because I would have, because hats are important. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Grant's hat.
Indiana Jones never goes anywhere without his.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he just grasped the.
No, he had to leave the hat. After Billy saved his hat, after all the hat nonsense, he couldn't go get the hat. So R.I.P. Grant's hat. Very sad.
Just for you, Danny, I looked it up, and it is believed Dimetrodons are warm-blooded because of ridges that they found in their noses.
That sounds familiar.
And their and their fins from on the back of them. I think they used it to control their temperatures, or was it stegosaurus?
Yeah, it would let off heat, but yeah, it says that there are ridges in their nose that would have supported mucous membranes that moistened the air that went through their noses.
Fascinating. Nature is so cool. I love nature. Nature's cool. The Dimetrodons and Grant in a tunnel and spooky. That's a scary scene. And also, most of those Dimetrodons were puppets.
They use a lot of animatronic dinosaurs in this.
A lot.
Now, if we're talking about scary scenes, I honestly think that the most suspenseful scene in this is when Claire crawls into the mossy water to get away from Krugersaurus.
Yeah, I think that's called the Krugersaurus.
No,
I made that up. They're called Therizinosaurs.
Therizinosaurus,
Yeah, that's a long.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about Therizinosaurs and their relatives: they are weird. They are
they are weird.
They are the platypus of dinosaurs because they make no sense. They have these giant carnivore style claws on them.
Yeah,
but they were herbivores, and they weren't theropods, but they had feathers.
Yeah,
so it's very nobody really knows what the heck Therizinosaurs were all about. There's a whole subsection of critters that were like that. I couldn't tell you what they're all called, but basically the umbrella term is Therizinosaur, and they were like their own weird group. They weren't raptor or T-Rex related. But they had, actually, they were like distant theropod relatives, but they weren't technically theropods. But again, they had feathers like theropods did. And they ate plants, but they had these giant Freddy Krueger claws on them. For defense, most likely.
I thought that was like a really cool dinosaur.
I liked that it was blind, too. I thought that was a creative choice.
Yeah, so that creature was blind.
Yes, and just kind of vicious. Angry. All the dinosaurs in this movie are very angry.
It's actually Zatoichi-saur?
Zatoichi, no, I can't. Never mind. We're stopping the joke right here. But yeah, very creative.
So that dinosaur is actually a blind dinosaur.
Yep, he has no eyesight, and that's the first time you see him, you see his cataracts.
Yeah, I was gonna say that dinosaur is
which explains why she could crawl into the mossy water and actually elude him, because his head was right above her. And I loved how they had the camera pan down so that you could actually see her under the water, and you could see that this thing is just a couple of inches from her.
Very well shot.
Yeah. Well, that dinosaur fits. I forgot what's called again. Like the one we just. Phesasaurus. Yeah.
Phesasaurus?
Yes. So you can really call that a blind dinosaur. Like.
Therizinosaurus, yeah.
Hey.
Because the reason I mentioned that, they're saying, I guess you could call that a blind dinosaur after all. Because, that's almost a reference to from the original film when Grant and the kids are in the tree, talk about saying, what do you call a blind dinosaur?
Oh.
If they really did that whole scene because of that joke, then I don't know whether to slap them or shake their hands.
And here silly. I thought it was supposed to be a riff on the whole, they hunt by movement.
It's also very much that. Which is funny because Grant gets to use that line later in the movie for a dinosaur that doesn't have movement-based eyesight. So they just kind of had him say it because that's the thing he says. It doesn't make any sense. But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That making
I
sense.
yeah, so gosh, it's been 2 hours, and
Mhm.
I want to talk about a few more dinosaurs and then before we wrapped up. I mean, I want to
Mhm.
talk about the Pyloraptor. You know,
Oh,
the one with feathers.
that thing was something else. Oof.
Yeah, the Pyloraptor is like, I thought it's like that's what all velociraptors should look like, because it's all feathers.
Yeah, this one. The only difference between what this thing and a real velociraptor looked like is that it was like 6 times bigger than a real velociraptor. But yeah, most raptors they would have looked probably just exactly like this, because there's a plot point in the film where they do say that they can get pure genome now without having to throw frogs in. So they're making purely, like, genetically pure dinosaurs, and this is probably has to be one of them.
Oh, is that the one that's in the underground fights that actually looks like a chicken?
No, it's the swimmy boy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the swimming in ice.
Oh, that little punk.
Yeah.
Because I think because the real velociraptors in the real world are just size of dogs and it has feathers in it, and
Yeah, which
but-
I was talking about
but-
the one that was in the fight.
yeah, but in the
Gets its head cut off.
I think that was an Oviraptor.
yeah, but in the because we did mention in my Jurassic Park podcast that velociraptors are based of the Utahraptor.
This has all been because of one little mistake from
that
Problem.
Pyloraptor in this one, that's what a real velociraptor should look like in the real world, because it has feathers.
Mm-hmm. Which is less scary to me, but I think they did a good job of making this thing look pretty intimidating. It was like fighting a 6-foot turkey, though, if you think about it, because of that one scene that I'm referencing from the first movie. Just one more reference, I swear. They literally they fought a 6-foot turkey in this movie. Anyway, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and also before we talk about the Giganotosaurus next, I want to talk about how the cast met the original cast, how they after the Giganotosaurus thing, and I love how they met after they reunite with Maisie, and how they chat for a little while. It's like, I like to say you guys been to Jurassic Park, and then Alice like, you guys been to Jurassic World. I love how Ian Malcolm saying Jurassic World, not a fan.
Which I thought was kind of meta.
Yeah, I love how he says that he's not a fan, because I know with his experience of Jurassic Park, which has been in the first place in the first movie, that he has a really good experience in the beginning, but a bad experience at the end. That's why he says like not a fan, because he doesn't want to go through that thing again.
He also testified in the second film to let the dinosaurs die off. So he wasn't a fan. Clearly was not a fan of any of that. And that's like one of several curious lines he has in the film. There's his final moment with before he storms off, he just kind of points at Dodgson and says, "Dodgson," and then just leaves. I don't know why he did that. I can't find a single reason for him to have pointed at him.
You think that might have been? You think that might have been that might have been a Goldblum ad lib?
Maybe he just like Nathan.
Are you gonna do that at G Fest with me?
Yes.
Say,
I'm gonna do that with everybody,
including me,
Brendan.
Then just walk away.
Just leave. I'm just gonna leave. That's what.
And I liked the way how Ian. First of all, I liked how Owen and Grant chit-chat and saying, how Owen says, "Hey, I read your book." Well, on tape.
He listened to his book.
Yeah, he just said, "Yeah, I read your book."
Audiobooks are a count.
They do.
Yeah, I love he says like, "I read your book," but on tape. When he said read his book, that's almost like a reference to what Tim said in the original, like when they before we got into the G, he says like, I read your book.
In all 3 movies, somebody, a fan of his, has told him that he's read his book, because Tim read his book, and then the little boy in the 3rd one said, I read your book. He read both your books. He's written 2 books. So Eric has read his book, and obviously Chris Pratt has now read his book. And frankly, if it was real, I would have read both of his books.
Yeah.
I like that there are 2 books. There's like the pre-Jurassic Park book he wrote, and then there's the one he apparently wrote afterward where he's a little bit more bitter about it. It's like they hadn't tried to eat me by that point. That's a great
one.
And Chaos Theory by Dr. Ian Malcolm. Chaos Theory 2, Electric Boogaloo by
Yes.
And I also like when Granner is said to talk to Owen, saying, Owen Grady, like, you train raptors.
They are apparently fans of each other.
They are apparently
Our
fans.
Characters are fans of each other's work, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah,
I thought that was a sweet moment. I like that.
Yeah, because Grant has some bad experience with the raptors, and in the 2 films, twice, like, because he has a fear of raptors, like, in person, because they are the most vicious animals, and then he's just amazed at how he's just amazed how Owen trains raptors. And
I think Owen is the only character in this entire franchise with positive experiences with raptors.
Yeah, and I also love it how when I heard first, before the film came out, when I heard when this film is making, I know they're gonna bring back the original cast. I mean, when Owen and Grant make a team, and when Blue appears, and then I feel like Grant was just have a fear, and he grabs a gun trying to shoot Blue. I mean, and then Owen just stops and saying, "No, stop! Blue's with us." And then Grant is like, "Do you have any idea what these things are?" And then Owen said something like, "Blue is not the enemy. He's not like the other raptors."
It's the only one.
But that never happens in this one. It's just
no, but it's actually kind of cool. Grant gets the chance to almost like redeem his long-term bad relationship with raptors by doing the hand thing. The eyes on the hand thing, and they triangulate so that they can capture the baby, which does mean that by the end of this movie, they are running around trying to protect 2 children.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's parallelism here. We have characters starting families. The raptors are starting families. Also, I'd like to point out, Beta had 3 choices for who to go after, and he went after Grant.
He just went after Grant. I mean, then Owen just tranquilized it.
Listen, Grant has had just as much bad luck with raptors as he's had good luck, because this is at least the second time that a raptor has jumped him and something else stopped it dead in its tracks.
Yeah.
This is the second time. What now?
Is that a dinosaur on your back?
Yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah. You made a promise to a dinosaur?
That is I love the fact that Malcolm calls that out.
Yeah, he's like he's almost like an audience surrogate. If this was Monster Island Buddies, he'd be Orga. He's just kind of outside the narrative, going, that part of the script is interesting.
Well, let's be honest. If there is one character in Jurassic Park who will become transcendent enough to break the 4th wall, it's gonna be Ian Malcolm.
He was transcendent enough to just decide not to be dead in the 2nd book. Like he can look at the screen and be like,
I quit
well, that
being
happened.
You know what I did? I quit being dead today.
You
can quit death?
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen Executive Koala? You can just stop being dead. There's a deep cut for 3 people. Both of them are Elijah, and I'm the 3rd one.
I got it.
Oh, you've seen Executive Koala. Okay, you've seen Executive Koala. Anyway, that's a great moment when when the cast finally reunites, and it's like we get movie A and movie B finally.
Yeah,
reunited.
and
they
we
bounce
had
off
this
each other.
and we had this great like Jurassic Park theme background to it when they reunite. Like that's just like a great moment.
That's a good moment.
So
Yeah.
speaking of the music, Michael
Giacchino?
Forgot.
Is it
Giacchino.
Giacchino or Giacchino? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I always say Giacchino.
I've never.
Yeah,
even
he came back once again for this one, and this probably be his last music score for a Jurassic World film.
Well, he could come back for the 8th one, whatever that'll be. But Alexander Desplat is doing the next one, so yeah.
Oh yeah, so Garrett Edwards got his composer. That's gonna be good.
It's the same. It's the same thing with how many directors out there have their preferred composer. I'd love to see him continue to work with Desplat. So
yeah, I was gonna say Desplat is the most underrated Godzilla composer. There, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
He could very well be. He could very well be.
Yeah, so like 3 Jurassic World films has the same music director, Michael
Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino. I hope I'm saying it right.
Giacchino.
And 2 Jurassic Park films from the Jurassic Park trilogy done by John Williams, who is the original score of the original films. 2 of them, Jurassic Park and Lost World. And Don Davis did the score for the 3rd film. And John Williams did 2 films, Don Davis did 1 film, and then Michael Giacchino did 3 Jurassic World films.
So he's the winner. He got 3. He's got the record at the moment.
And he also did the music for the Lost World video game.
Yes.
On the original PlayStation.
Yeah, he's been involved for longer than most people give him credit for. That's pretty cool. He's so good.
And I don't listen to his music on the 3rd film that much. Usually I listen to his music from the 1st and the Fallen Kingdom one.
His Fallen Kingdom soundtrack is a banger. It's really good, especially when things get like the choir kicks in with the gothic horror aspects of the last chunk of the film, where it really just becomes like, oh yeah, I forgot. This guy is a huge Universal monster guy. Now you can tell.
Yeah.
Clearly J.A. Bayona is as well, because classic horror in general, because the ending of that movie is literally just Nosferatu. It's pretty blatant, but it's really cool. I like it. I like gothic horror. So it works. But this is a great score as well for Dominion that he did. And there's a lot of needle dropping. There's a lot of needle dropping for John Williams. Probably not as much as in the first one, but enough of it here during some nice key visual moments that make you go, oh yeah, that has.
Yeah, and I heard John Williams retired because the last score he did was for the last Indiana Jones film, The Duel of Destiny.
Yeah, he's technically retired. I feel like the right project could lure him out, but like he's 90, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, I don't remember, but he's in his 90s, and when my grandmother was in her 90s, she could barely hold a fork, let alone a baton. Okay. Like, that's amazing that the man is still doing things. And I feel like the right project could lure him out. Go ahead, Nate.
He's 93.
93. Okay. So he has earned his retirement. I feel like the right project could make him go, I got one more in me. Whatever Spielberg's new Alien movie is going to be that he's working on right now. Maybe John Williams would be like, just kidding. This is my last one. But maybe.
Here's my next one.
I composed for Lost in Space. I remember. Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
And I think that might be my brain.
So let's talk about this coolest dinosaur in the Giganotosaurus. I mean, he's almost like the Indominus Rex of it.
Except he's not a kaiju.
Yeah,
he's not a weirdo.
But when First of all, I thought it was another hybrid monster, but no, it's actually a real dinosaur. No,
I tell you what, a few years ago, a traveling Giganotosaur exhibit came to an Indianapolis museum, and I took a road trip to go see this thing, and it was astonishing standing underneath this thing. The size of this dinosaur, they had the full skeleton on display of this Giganotosaurus, and it was overwhelming how big this animal was in real life. It was like standing under a little Godzilla. Like it was really powerful. And it was pretty gorgeous. And it was about a year before this movie came out. So I went into this movie with like I was kind of Giganotosaur primed a little bit, for as weird as that sounds. I just seen a real one a few months earlier. And I don't know where he is now. He's out there in the world somewhere, but it was a cool pick. It was a cool pick for a big creature. There's only so many times you can make one of these movies and claim that the big evil bad monster at the end of it it's the biggest thing on the planet ever. But as of right now, it's either this guy or the Carcharodontosaur. I don't remember which one, but I think it's this guy now. I think he's technically the biggest theropod that's ever been described. And he's pretty. The one in the movie is beautiful.
Yeah, I like the one in the movie. It's like, and they actually used a full size animatronic.
Yeah, just the head. They only built the head and the neck, but anytime in the movie you see the head and the neck as an animatronic, and you see the rest of the body, that is a CG extension.
Yeah, that is.
It's effective.
Yeah, that's like a cool effect there. How they add some each CGI to the animatronic.
They did good.
And remember the one scene where after Alan says like biggest carnivore the world has ever seen, and when the Giganotosaurus head was like tilted up, that's kind of like a moment from the original film of the T-Rex after he tosses the Jeep over the cliff and he gives a victory roar. That's sort of like that moment.
Very much so. There's also a similar shot of the Spinosaur animatronic from the third film that does that same kind of straight at the camera, roar back kind of pose, like so. It's very dramatic, and you almost kind of want your giant theropods to do that in a Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah. Although the poor thing, after all the hype that it gets and how much it gets shown off, and then it gets killed by getting casually shoved.
It gets Freddy Kruegered. It gets
shoved it into another dinosaur just standing there and its claws are out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then they're like, yeah, we killed it. And
that's.
And the other one is just like, yeah, I killed it too. It's like, you were standing there.
Yeah, the two are fighting. It's like,
this Xenosaurus, what did you do?
Because that fight, that's almost like similar to the Indominus Rex fight in the first one.
Ever since the Rex got beat by the Spinosaurus, they're just like, okay, we got to make up for this because people got upset about the Spinosaurus winning, so we're gonna have Rexy beat everything.
It's so dumb. It's so. I still to this day will never understand that. I'll never get it.
What, people flipping out about the Spinosaurus winning?
And I want to say that. I'm sorry, you guys, but I want to say that fight scene is sort of similar to the Indominus Rex fight, but it's not too like, I'm not too like crazy about that fight, but I mean it's okay to me. But I know the T-Rex almost died at the end, kind of looks like from the third film, but he did not fully die. He's just the Giganotosaurus almost wins. If you look carefully, when the cast and crews are gone to helicopter and evacuate, when the camera shifted into the T-Rex, did a close up of his face when he's like almost like passed out. I mean, I know some lighting shows. I mean, it actually shows like a little flash of Rex's ancestors, like from the beginning of the film. It's like a little flashy thing.
I didn't catch that until this last viewing. I did not see it in the theater. I did not see it the first time I watched the extended cut, but this time I actually caught that, and I thought that was an interesting choice. I thought that was very, very interesting. and it's almost so subtle that you don't. I mean, I missed it. Maybe it's clearer than, and I'm just an idiot. But like, I just didn't see it. But I saw it this time, and I went, wait, feather quill feathers. What's that? Oh, I see what they did.
Yeah, and then
That's pretty cool.
I like the way how they shine the light on Rexy's eye, like trying to give him the white glove. Like, yeah,
Can we talk just for a moment about the fact that the only reason that
I was going to bring
courtyard,
this up.
the only reason that courtyard was full of weird modern art was so that this thing could walk in front of the circle and create the logo. So
oh yeah, the logo, the
silly, and I love it.
Yeah, the classic
with the
logo.
circle, with the circle fountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be there other than just for one frame to have the Rex make the logo.
One shot.
Yeah, and then how the gang was trying to escape, and for a moment I thought it was Rexy coming in just to eat them, but no, this isn't about it. She wants to fight the Giganosaurus. So after what she did to Rexy's ancestor, if Rexy just saw Granite like down there, she'll be like, I know you.
It's genetic memory.
Yeah.
You killed my great 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 etc.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Grant. If she saw like Grant, she would like I'm talking about like Grant. I mean, if Rexy saw Grant there saying, "I know you,"
I remember.
She sees Ian. She's like, "You threw a torch in my face."
I remember you fool. Hey,
And
the Giganotosaurus.
Fed a lawyer to me.
Yes, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
and
Can we talk about how the Giganotosaurus breathes fire for like 1 second in this movie?
yeah, that one thing I was talking about, like when Ian Malcolm, like remember in the first one, like Ian Malcolm grabs the torch, like, hey, trying to get the T-Rex away. Now he used like a bigger torch with the giant locust on fire, saying wait to it, like to the Giganotosaurus. That's sort of like similar to the original film.
It's completely ripped up. I mean, paying homage to the original film, and I do like that. They gave him another hero moment, but this time he doesn't get his leg shattered, which is nice.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, don't kill him. This is the moment to do it. He has his big dang hero moment. Are they gonna do that? No, and they didn't do it. They knew better. This is sacred. This is mythology. Do not kill off the Goldblum. Don't do it. So they didn't do it, and I was very happy about that. And then you have that big final fight, because the other character going into this that my poor nerdy heart was genuinely worried about was Rexy here. I was like, if they're gonna kill her off, this is the time to do it. It's the last movie. They could send her out in a blaze of glory. It would make sense to do so. But it's kind of like blowing up the Millennium Falcon at this point. You just can't do it. So they almost killed her off, but they inexplicably, this immortal dinosaur who is protected by nerd rage, I think, really, she has her moment. She really should be dead, but she's not, and I'm very happy she's not. So they gave her a nice little moment.
And when you brought up about how the Giganotosaurus breathe out fire after Ian like throws the torch in her mouth, and then she blows out fire, I was like, "There's no way a dinosaur would do that."
No, it's the fire from the.
If you shoved fire in my mouth, I would spit the fire out and breathe fire for a second. Like, I would not want the fire in my mouth.
I just thought it looked awesome.
Brendan,
it was awesome.
You have to test this theory at G-Fest.
I probably won't, but thank you for your interest.
Bring a box of matches.
No,
do not try that.
No,
Nathan.
No, I'm saying you should, not me.
No.
I
Here's the
would
deal.
never throw lit matches into Danny's mouth.
Thank you. You need my voice for your show. It's a good way to scorch my vocal cords. If you burn my throat, you will have killed Dr. Dorff.
I will have killed half the cast.
You will have, you will have killed half the cast of your show. But no, I will not do that. And the dinosaurs in these movies are so hardy and tough that you can just shove fire into the mouth of the dinosaur, and the dinosaur is fine. The dinosaur is okay. And there's not a single moment where the dinosaur is like, ah, how could you do this? I'm
Just
my
like that. Unhinge the jaw and everything.
yes, unhinge the jaw. Listen, these things were like $6 in blind packs, man. You get what you pay for.
Are they actual Jurassic Park dinosaurs?
Yeah, no, this is from Dominion. These are all. I have like a pile of them. I just grabbed a few, but these are all from Dominion specifically. They came out when the film did. I have all of them, and then
Of course you do.
this is the Hammond. This is the Hammond collection Rex, which I think
I
she's been
gotta
in all-
get that one.
Yeah, I think she's been in all the episodes. I think I made sure that she was visible in all the episodes, but she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
And
I gotta get that.
Yeah, fully posable. I have her in a really nice pose. I'm not going to mess with, but you can pretty much do anything.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much do anything you want with her, and
Oh.
yeah, she's great. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't like how she's looking at me. Danny, the fact that you can replicate those noises as well as you do kind of frightens me.
What?
And if I ever need animal noises, I know who I'm talking to.
I'll frank your welker real good, sir.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I'm calling
so-
it now.
That's right.
it's so the movie ends with Bison is all done. That means it's all over. The disaster is all over with what Dawson is gone, and then that means that Jurassic Park and world can be free from Dawson's disaster villainous plot, and because it's of the ending when Bison's all done, and it's like they evacuated it, and the ending is it's kind of okay after the cast went their separate ways, and they brought back Beta to Blue, and they took off, and it gives a little speech moments of
Charlotte.
They gives her like a speech about coexisting. If we're gonna survive all together, we had to work together, coexist. I mean, dinosaurs and man bind together, so they had to share the world with the dinos now.
Well, it's also talking about how we have families in this movie and they have to depend on each other.
Yeah, and that's it. The credits just rolls, and after the credits rolls, I said to myself, and that's the final chapter, which is not,
yeah, not true.
Nice.
which is wish to come out with a 7th film, and I was like, what? I thought these movies were done.
No,
That's what
I never
everybody thought.
I never believed it for a second. The fact that they seem to have rushed this one so quick. I mean, the movie we're talking about is 3 years old, and this new one was announced not too long ago and is already shot and in the can and ready to open. I don't know what happened. Like, I'm very, very baffled by it. They said this last one was it, and then almost immediately they were like, "Nah, let's do this." They were trying to find directors, and almost nobody that they were looking for could do it because it was so short notice. So I don't know why there's a time limit on it. It's very confusing. So I'll be curious to see once NDAs start being freed up here in a few years, what the story is with Rebirth and why it was made and made so quickly. Like, did they discover they signed a 4-film contract and because it's on the same schedule? Think about it. Jurassic World, 3 years later, Fallen Kingdom, supposed to be 3 years later for Dominion, but it ended up being 4. And now 3 years after that, we've got the next one. It's consistent. There was no gap.
Yeah.
They're just making another one. So I'm wondering if there was like some weird contractual thing, or I don't know. I'd love to know that there's something fishy about it, but not in a bad way. I just want to know. And the new one is looking pretty fun. It's looking pretty fun. It's it's the only.
That looks interesting.
It looks interesting. It looks a little Lost World-esque, which I'm down with. I adore that film. I love that setup. I love the dinosaurs free, doing their own thing in an isolated location in a Lost World scenario. The cast looks like they're having a lot of fun. It was really kind of fun discovering that Scarlett Johansson was like a closeted Jurassic Park fan her whole life. Like, loved it. And like lobbied, actually was like, I want to be in this movie. Please let me be in this Jurassic Park movie. And she got it, which is pretty fun. It's been honestly kind of adorable. It's been like just like all these cast members like, we get to be in a Jurassic Park movie. It's honestly the only thing I'm really like looking to go watch this July. It's honestly the rest of the year I've only got a handful more movies that are catching my attention, and I'll always be there for a Jurassic. So
Yeah.
it's continuing. It'll have to really, this one's going to have to like justify itself a little bit. Like, why do this? You know, if the answer is just cause, and the movie isn't good enough to support that, then that's a problem. But no matter what, I'm a sucker for this stuff. I'm a Jurassic Park kid. We talked about it in the first episode, how this movie changed my life. It changed everybody's life here. We all film.
It really changed my life.
I'll always be there to see the next installment. I will show up. I will pay money. I will go watch it.
Yeah, and I want to say for the ending of Dominion, when the credits roll, I mean, this ending just shows the dinosaurs roaming around with this music background. I mean, I just wish they could have used like the original theme ending from the original film and from Jurassic Park 3, you know, the dun 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 dun. I just wish they could have used that instead, but no.
Well, they did. They just remixed it. It's a different version of that song. It's the same song. It just sounds different. It would have been kind of cool to end it in the same way. It would have been a cool thing to like choose that exact same version of the song, but if you stay through the credits to the end, they do end it with that. They end it with the final notes of the theme to kind of take the last moments of the franchise out on a high note. Also, but it's nice. It's nice.
John Williams is credited with that original theme.
Yeah, he wrote it. It's his. And it's used. It's a needle drop used like a lot in this movie. So and it makes a couple appearances in the credits. It's interesting. It is interesting how they ended this. The last shot of what looks to be either a pachyrhinosaur or a Nasidiceratops just kind of wandering around with elephants with a sunset. It's a very symbolic last shot. It's a very evocative last shot. It is kind of an unusual last shot. Like, you know what I mean? It's an unusual choice for the last shot of your franchise. But I think it works. And it has that nice hard cut. And and it's kind of an interesting full circle moment. It's the first time you can breathe after like this high octane, nearly 3-hour experience where it's just 49 set pieces and you're like, dinosaurs. And you finally get a little break.
Yeah, and so I like 2 Jurassic World films. Fallen Kingdom is my least favorite, but I think I like Dominion more, and because of the original cast back, and I know executive producer Steven Spielberg did executive produce 3 Jurassic World films and 1 Jurassic Park 3.
Oh yeah, he's had his name on all of them to some degree.
Yeah, and and I like Dominion. I don't think it's a bad film, and it is. I think they did a really good job with this one. It's better than Fallen Kingdom. And I want to say to you guys, wow, I think this is like a wrap that we have done. Finished all the Jurassic Park cast episode from Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and this.
We did it.
I kept. Well, now you gotta go see Rebirth, and then as soon as you get back home, you do a live stream saying, "Guys, I just saw the movie."
Yep, I can't wait to see it, and maybe I'll do one more Jurassic Podcast episode for Rebirth.
You should.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll have the whole gang for an invite.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, of what they think of it.
This is not the end of Jurassic Park cast.
Yeah.
There's more to come.
And for that episode, not for like a study of we know about the behind the scenes, but just to talk about how we react to the film, how we liked it, and what we know so much about it.
Well, I may be doing something similar with the new Superman movie because there are kaiju in it.
Yeah, and so yeah, I want to
even say kaiju.
That's true.
Yeah, and I want to say to you guys, like, thank you so much once again for joining on my Jurassic podcast episode for the 4th time. 4 times you guys been in this series.
4 out of 6 ain't bad.
And we got all the good ones.
Yeah, and I know that Jurassic Park 3 and Fallen Kingdom, I have different guesses, like for Kaiju United and Goji Fan 98 for Jurassic Park 3, and Fallen Kingdom, I have Jedi Grant as Walter and Gojira 85-1 in that episode. But I'm glad that I have you guys back for this one, for the final Jurassic Parkcast episode.
Your longest live stream ever.
Yeah, and I think this episode goes almost the same time as for Jurassic World episode we did.
It's almost the exact length of the extended cut of the film.
Yeah.
Actually, it's longer than the extended.
Yeah, we beat it by about 5 minutes. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, we're a little longer. But that just means that you can watch the movie on mute and listen to us like a commentary, and then just stick around for 5 minutes of the menu playing on loop.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like, that would be cool.
Except on the Blu-ray I was using, if you wait through all the credits, it just starts Battle of Big Rock.
Oh, that's right. My Blu-ray does that too. I forgot that it was a bonus feature on there.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you guys for joining me, and I can't believe I finished the series.
You finished almost,
and now I'll be back to doing my other series I need to finish, like King Kong, Gamera, and other types of film series. And who knows, maybe I'll do an episode about Jaws, since Jaws turns 50 years old this year.
How is that possible? How is it? How is it 50 years old? Time means nothing.
There are a lot of things turning 50 this year, Danny.
Yeah.
You're only what? You're 49. You're not quite there yet. You're getting there. Next
I was talking about something that we're going to be talking about at G-Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And seeing on the big screen at G-Fest.
Again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to G-Fest and this year, and I'll be seeing 2 films at the Pickwick. Well, one is a double feature, and the other one is a single one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I will see whatever I can afford.
Yeah.
Oh well, you could buy the pack where you get all the movies for $100.
I can't guarantee I'll be awake Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, but that.
And so thank you all for watching for the final Jurassic Parkcast episode, and I just want to say to you all, like, I know this won't be like the final Parkcast episode because Rebirth's coming up, and I'll do that one. So thank you all for watching for this, and I'm glad I finished this Jurassic Parkcast series. And just remember, guys, life finds a way.